Let's go ahead and get started. All right, Shalom Israel. Welcome back to our Wednesday night class. And shout out and shalom to all our brothers and sisters out there. We got Passover coming up this month, at the end of this month. And so we're excited about that. We're excited to see the development and the growth and the fellowship and the opportunity to rap and see other brothers that struggle and that put their lives on the line for the truth and for the Most High in Christ. It's always a blessing. And so today, we kind of want to jump right into it, but can't forget about our brothers in Virginia and Houston, and also in New York, Rochester, New York. Rochester, and California, Cabo Cab down in Guatemala. Amiatazan in London. All of our brothers in Canada, New Mexico, Miami that watch online, the water. And shout out and shalom to everybody that also came to class in person. And the water for your participation as well. And let's go ahead and get started. Topic of the class, if you can, write this down on your notes on top of your paper. Pain and grief gives us much to consider. Pain and grief gives us much to consider.
Can I ask this question?
Mm-hmm.
What was the inspiration for this direction?
All right. Great question. Dawiyah had asked a great question. He asked, what was the inspiration for this direction? So I'll answer that both in person and also I'll answer it with a scripture. First of all, when you look at the human body, right? When you look at the human body, the human body, they say if you take the nervous system and you stretch it from end to end, right? Because the nervous system sends signals throughout the body, from every part of your body, right? Organs, brain, everything. They say if you take the nervous system and you stretch it from one end to the other, it would equal about 62,000 miles.
Wow.
Which would be like twice around the earth, right? That's how the average length of the nervous system is in the human body. So what does that mean? That means that the Most High can use these senses, these sensories, this nervous system to get your attention. Hey. When there's an issue, when there's a fault, there's a pain, there's a problem, the Most High has made these connections viable as a way to let you know that there's a malfunction or there's a disorder or there's a malady or there's a sickness or there's a problem within the body, right? So there's a way for the Most High. The Most High created the nervous system to be able to let you know that you have some type of illness or situation or pain. So that's why there's so many thousands of miles of nerves within the body, right? But then also, but with that, the Most High can show you or demonstrate ways to get your attention. There's a multitude of ways where the Most High, if he wants to get a point across, he can use a variety of ways of transmission. And specifically, let's go to, I want to answer Dawiyah's question with a scripture too. Let's go to Job. Let's go to Job chapter 35. If a brother get that, Kariah. Job chapter 35, start at verse 1 and verse 2. And this is not on the class, but this is just to kind of open up the introduction. Job chapter 35, verse 1 and 2. Read that.
Job chapter 35 and verse 1. It says, Elihu spake moreover and said, thinkest thou this to be right?
He says, do you agree that this mind frame is the right mind frame? Let's read on.
It says, my righteousness is more than the Most High.
It says, do you agree in this mind frame for a man to walk around or a woman to walk around and they may think that their righteousness is what?
More than the Most High?
So how does a person walk around on earth thinking that their righteousness is more righteous than the Most High? What mentality is he referring to? What mentality is he talking about? Read.
Verse 3. For thou saidest, what advantage will it be unto thee?
It says, because some people say, what advantage shall it be unto thee, unto me? Read.
And what profit shall I have?
If I do what?
If I be cleansed from my sin.
So a lot of people think that in my mind, what good is me cleaning myself up? He said that mentality is coming from a person that thinks that they know more than the Most High. They know what's good for them more than the Most High. For a person to have the mentality to think that what good is it for me to clean myself up? I don't see the good in trying to make changes. What profit is involved with me making life changes? Read on.
It says, I will answer thee, and thy companions with thee.
So now, so that we don't ever think that there's no good to change, that change is useless, that change is insufficient, that cleaning yourself up is a wasteless endeavor, a useless endeavor. Well, the Most High will get your attention if that mentality exists within you. I mean, I'm just answering Dawiya's question. So what will the Most High do to get your attention? So now we can kind of go into the purpose of the class. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 2 and let's read verse 19.
2:19.
Yes, sir.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 19. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Thine own wickedness shall correct thee.
So the Most High will use something so that you won't think that it's unnecessary for me to change. So the Most High will use a so-called motivator, something to incite you or to inspire you. What will the Most High use to inspire you or motivate you to change?
Thine own wickedness shall correct thee.
So we just got through talking about how in the body they say over 62,000 miles of nerves running throughout your body. So the Most High knows how to get your attention.
Yeah.
So the Most High has a multitude of ways to get a man's attention, and what he chooses, he has an armory of ways to get your attention. But one that the Most High uses commonly is your own mistakes. He uses your own mistakes against you.
That's true.
He uses your own shortcomings and the things that you may not think are important to focus on to be the thing that plagues you.
Damn. So my own decisions, pretty much.
My own decisions. Read it again.
Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 19. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and that backsliding shall reprove thee.
He says, and he'll show you that you slipping away from the Most High. He'll use a situation so that you can see, hey, I'm going backwards from the Most High. I'm backsliding. I'm regressing from following the Most High. I'm not in pursuit of the Most High. Something's wrong. I'm slipping. So he'll use something to get your attention as a receptor to specifically let you know you're slipping. Go ahead.
It says no fur. Now, therefore, and see that it is an evil thing.
It said it's an evil thing to start sliding away from the Most High. Now hold this. That's an evil thing to backslide. That's an evil thing to commit wickedness and think to yourself, there's no need or purpose for me to change. That's an irregular mindset. All right? Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 17, and we're going to read verse 14 in the Apocrypha.
Ecclesiastes chapter 17, verse 14 reads, And he said unto them, Beware of all unrighteousness.
Now, the Most High is not going to put us on this earth and expect change without a disclaimer, without some type of science. He's fair. It would be wrong for the Most High to drop you down on earth and to let you figure it out by yourself and let you learn the hard way and bump your head every direction so you can figure life out through mistakes. Figure life out the hard way. That would be unfair to the Most High. So the Most High is very fair. So in life, the Most High has established a multitude of disclaimers to let you know, look out for this. That's a warning sign. Watch out for that. Be careful. Be cautious. Walk circumspectly. Be prudent. There's so many different disclaimers that the Most High has left behind so that we're not without warning when we start to slip away from the Father or do things wrong. Read it again.
And he said unto them, Beware of all unrighteousness. And he gave every man commandment concerning his neighbor.
So now we just explained, he says, beware of all what?
Unrighteousness.
So he's telling, the Most High has given us a disclaimer. I'm telling you to watch out for all levels of unrighteousness. He said, that look out for all levels of unrighteousness and do what?
And he gave every man commandment.
And he gave you instructions on what?
Concerning his neighbor.
On how to deal with people. On how to deal with each other.
Come.
The Most High didn't leave us without instructions on how to deal with each other. How to deal with your brother. How to deal with your sister. How to deal with your family. How to deal with your husband. How to deal with your wife. There's instructions all over the place. Read on.
Concerning his neighbor. Their ways are ever before him.
He says, because the Most High said, I'm watching all your ways. So I'm telling you, be careful. I'm telling you, use caution. I'm putting up all these precautionary measures around you so you know how to treat each other. And by the way, just in case you didn't know this, I'm watching you also. You're being watched.
At all times.
At all times.
Whether we like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. I put up the warning signs. It's like when Esau put cameras up on the poles to catch you speeding. Or to catch video of you doing a California roll on the stop sign. And then they send you the ticket in the mail.
Yeah.
Or you was in the HOV lane with one person. And they send you the ticket in the mail.
Picture.
You know what I'm saying? They know how to catch you on camera. The Most High said, listen, I set up warnings. I told you what to do. I told you how to treat each other. I gave you a lot of warnings. And I'm watching you. So everything else is on you at this point. This is on you. Read on.
Come. Their ways are ever before, shall not be hid from his eyes.
And he says, and there's nothing that you do is going to be what?
Hid from his eyes.
All actions are in front of the Lord. Read on.
Every man from his youth is given to evil.
Now the Most High knows this also. He knows that mankind starts off at a disadvantage. You've already been infected or pre-programmed with what?
Evil.
You already got evil in you. You know, ain't nobody righteous. Nobody's born righteous.
No.
Ain't nobody righteous. So he says there's already evil ingrained in you. Read on.
Neither could they make to themselves fleshy hearts for stoning.
And he says the problem is the transition. The problem that man has is the conversion. And that's what everybody has a problem with. Everybody starts off and everybody's evil. And the mind is evil, the heart is evil, the thoughts are evil. And trying to get that heart converted is the biggest issue. Trying to turn from a cold-blooded, stone cold, calloused, unconscious, careless mentality on how I talk to people, how I treat people, how I respect people, how I could care less, selfish. That conversion is the hardest part. And the Most High understands this. He says, and neither could they make their hearts what?
Fleshy hearts for stoning.
For stony hearts. It's hard to transplant that heart. That's all. To do that takes work. Coming out of the world into this truth, you're going to come with your own defects. And it's your job to remove the defects and put in a heart that's sensitive, a heart that's loving, that's caring, that's nurturing. That's hard to do. Read on.
Come. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every person.
Read.
But Israel is the Lord's portion.
So when it comes to converting the soul or converting the heart, who is going to be responsible when it comes to converting the children of Israel? The Most High. He said, these are the ones that I'm focused on. These are the ones that I'm expecting to follow me so I can convert their hearts. I can convert their minds. Read on.
Whom, being his firstborn, he nourished with discipline.
So what does the Most High use as an instrument to start to get us to consider that we need to change?
He nourished with discipline.
So we got to understand that the Most High has ways, manners of getting our attention. There's ways that he uses to wake you up, to get your eyes focused, to snap you back into reality, to get you out of your own head. The Most High will use certain things to get your attention. And one thing the Most High does quite often, he uses discipline because we're his children. Now, very quickly, Hebrews 12 and 5, real quick.
Come. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Most High, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
Now, remember, the word chasten means to correct by punishment. It says to correct by punishment, to inflict pain. Write this down. To inflict pain. The Most High said this is how he deals with the children of Israel. To correct by punishment, to inflict pain for the purpose of reclaiming an offender. So what does the Most High use to get our attention? Pain, brother. That's why the class is called Pain and Grief. Gives us much to consider.
Yeah.
Because the Most High will use pain specifically for the children of Israel to get you to rethink your offenses, to reconsider that stony heart of yours. He'll give you the notion, he'll use pain as a reminder to you so you can reflect on change. And that pain comes in different forms, comes in different sizes and shapes, and mannerisms and ways. So we understand, he says the Most High does what? Hebrews
chapter 12 and verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not thou the chastening of the Most High, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him.
Go ahead.
For whom the Lord loveth.
He said, for whom the Lord what?
Loveth.
Go ahead.
He chasteneth.
If he loves you, he does what?
He chasteneth.
That means if the Most High loves you, you know he loves you because the Most High don't let you get away with a whole lot without feeling some type of pain. That's how you know the Most High loves you, because he stings you quite often, and the sting is uncomfortable. The sting is very unbearable, and it's vexing. The Most High, that's a sign that the Most High loves you, because he stings you. He makes you feel something so you can wake up. That's a sign of love. We're gonna continue on that same vein. Let that go and go to Ecclesiastes 18 and 13 in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 13. So that's a sign that the Most High is with you.
Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 13. The mercy of man is toward his neighbor, but the mercy of the Lord is upon all flesh.
He said, but the mercy of the Lord is upon what?
All flesh.
Is upon all flesh. Read on.
He reproveth.
The Most High does what?
He reproveth.
This is how the Most High shows mercy. First, he got to check you. He got to correct you. He reprove you. Then what?
And nourish. Nurture it.
Then he come back and do what?
Nurture it.
Do you get the nurture first?
Nope.
What do you get first?
Reprove.
You get the reproof first. You get the correction first. You get the pain first. You get the grief first. You get the suffering first. You get the pain or sorrow of mind or body first. Then the Most High will come back and do what? Then he'll come back and nurture you. Doesn't that sound like a parent?
Yeah.
When you get out of line, the parent will give you hugs and kisses. They give you belts and spankings. Then when you do it, then they give you the hugs and they give you the nurture. But they first got to teach you a lesson. Read on.
He reproveth, he nurtureth, and teacheth.
And then he do what? Through the pain, there's a what behind it? There's a lesson behind the pain. He teaches through the pain. He teaches through the suffering. You don't get the nurturing first. You get the correction first. Then you get the understanding. Oh, now I know what to do next time.
Next time.
Or what makes you say I know what to do next time? Pain.
Yeah.
Pain makes you rethink things.
Yeah.
Grief makes you rethink things. Suffering makes you rethink things. But the Most High has to use that to get your attention. Because he knows what it takes for the children of Israel to turn that, to convert that heart. Read on.
He reproveth and nurtureth and teacheth and bringeth again.
And then he bring you again and accept you.
You can return.
Then you can come to me. Now you get close to me. Now I'm rocking with you. Now I accept your offering. But you got to get this correction first. You got to get this pain first. Read on.
As a shepherd his flock.
It says the Most High operates with us like a shepherd his what? His flock. So a shepherd is constantly steering the flock. Constantly steering. That's why you see a shepherd with the staff with the hook on it. Why is the hook on the end of a staff? Hook that neck. Because they're constantly going the wrong way. They need direction. Sheep, the flock need direction. They need management. And they got the gold at the end. That damn gold is like a stick with a sickle on the end. A prod at the end. It's like a prison weapon. It's like a knife duct taped to a stick, man. The Most High got to use that because that gold is what gets that attention. Read.
Verse 14. He has mercy on them that receive discipline.
He said he got mercy on them that what?
Receive discipline.
He said he got mercy on them that receive discipline. But why do we need so much discipline? Proverbs 22 and 15. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 15. Why do we need so much discipline?
Proverbs 22 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 15. Read. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
So he said, because foolishness is what?
Bound in the heart of a child.
What does that mean?
That means children are known to be foolish.
Just like sheep will go wandering and get lost and go astray, the children of Israel are no different. They're bound to do something stupid. They're bound to do something foolish. So he understands why the children of Israel need so much attention, so much correction, so much discipline. Because the minute you take your hand off of them, they into something new. It's like a baby. It's like a child. The minute you turn your back, they're doing something. When they get too quiet, that's when they're really doing something. That's when you start yelling for, hey, what y'all doing back there? Hey, you start yelling because you don't hear nothing. Something going on because they get into something quick. He said, but that's how the children of Israel are. As soon as you take your eyes off of them, sure enough, they into something. So they constantly need discipline. He said, foolishness is bound where?
In the heart of a child.
Go ahead.
But the rod of correction.
And so what do you need to get that attention?
The rod of correction.
What do you need to get them steered back in the right direction?
The rod of correction.
What do you need to get them focused?
The rod of correction.
So the Most High said he uses the rod of correction for what purpose?
Shall drive it far from him.
It takes away the what? The foolishness. It makes him rethink the foolishness. You got to pull that belt out. You got to pull that instrument out. That's what it takes. That's what the Most High is dealing with when he deals with us as his children. All of us need it. Nobody's exempt. Because if you don't have it, you're in the trouble and you corrupt yourself. You're in the trouble and you hurt yourself or you hurt other people. You have to have it. We all have to have it. So the Most High uses the rod of correction. He uses instruments. He uses pain. He uses grief. He inflicts something on you to get you to see that what you're doing, you need to rearrange your thought process.
And you said he has a wide armory of tools to inflict pain, but one of his favorites is our own personal,
that our own wickedness. He said, "Thine own wickedness shall correct thee." And there's a reason why he does that, and hopefully we'll get to it. I know certain people have to leave early. Hopefully we can get to that answer. I don't want to give it up yet, but there's a reason why the Most High will use your own wickedness against you, And if you don't catch it here in class, go back and check it out after on the video, and it'll be towards the end of class. But he'll explain in detail exactly why he uses your wickedness against you to correct you. There's a specific reason why it's associated, why your wickedness is associated with your correction. There's a reason. All right? So, now you mentioned something earlier, Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 11. I think I'm Yathia. You had mentioned this a minute ago. Ecclesiastes in the Bible. So,
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 11.
Yeah, he was set. It's clear.
Okay, it's clear. Okay, go ahead.
That's the text. I said that's the text.
Okay, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 11. The words of the wise are as gold.
He said the words of the wise are as what?
Gold.
So what are golds for? Correction. The Most High, like Darius brought up, there's a multitude of instruments. That one of them is a gold. It's that prodding instrument. Now today's gold is that electric stick that farmers use.
Yeah, they use that. Yeah,
The cattle prod,
It
which
shocks
is
the skin.
it hit them with a little voltage, and give them a little jolt, give them a little shot, and they get moving.
I'm ready to be in order.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're ready to go. Or you use electric fence. You know, they trying to get too close to that fence, zoop, they get away from that fence.
Yeah.
They know, okay, I got something, got my attention, where I get away from that. The Most High has to do that to us. He has to. There's no way around it. You won't listen without discipline.
What's crazy is we were driving with the brothers one time, and there was like 3 lambs that got outside of the fence, and immediately that wolf spirit jumped on me. And I felt like just grabbing them and putting them in the truck and just dipping out. Like this doesn't belong to me, but they're right there. They're right by the side of the road. The fence was broken, so they just were able, for some reason, they could find that one hole in the fence.
Yeah.
And you bring up this point about the electricity of the fence. It's like the Most High gives us a limit.
Yep.
If we look for that hole, then there's always a spirit on the outside that can't wait to
exploit you.
To exploit the fact that you're outside of that bound, that protection.
Exactly. And now let's go back to Ecclesiastes 18, and read verse 14 one more time.
Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, chapter 18 and verse 14. He hath mercy on them that receive discipline.
And that's why he says he got mercy, because the Most High is like a shepherd. So a shepherd, his job is to keep the sheep out of danger. Now, we know in the scripture there is no finders, keepers, losers, weepers. No. We know the scripture said, if you find thy enemy's ox, thou shalt, even if it's your enemy's ox, thou shalt surely return it unto him. I mean, there is no such thing as I found it, it's mine. You know what I'm saying? And if you do find it, it says that you're supposed to keep it and nourish it until somebody come and claim it.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I thought that was your neighbors, not your enemies.
No, it's the enemies.
Enemies too?
Yep. So there's no such thing as finders, keepers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we find wallets, purses, but you gotta, your conscience is going to either say, you know what, let me go ahead and see what's in this wallet, or you can say, let me see if there's an ID in this wallet. You can say, lucky me, finders, keepers, losers, weepers, or you can make that phone call, or say, you know what, let me throw this wallet in the envelope and send it back to the address that's on the driver's license. That option is yours, because the Most High want to see your integrity. Yes, sir.
No, I was just gonna say that even your enemies may be your foes of your own household.
Could be, but like an old woman said, you can't find nothing in my house.
Huh?
Everything in my house is mine.
Yeah.
Heard that from an old lady. You can't find nothing in my house.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That means if you find some change in the couch, guess what? That's my change in the couch.
Yeah.
That's not your change in the couch. That's my change in the couch. You can't find nothing in my house. But so that's funny though. But finish that.
Come, Ecclesiastes 18 and 14. He hath mercy on them that receive discipline, and that diligently seek after his judgment.
But who gets the Most High's mercy though?
Them that diligently seek after his judgment.
Right, the ones that's trying to think like the Most High. They're trying to learn his ways. Meaning they don't have to go through the pain and the suffering and the affliction to get the lesson. The Most High is more merciful on those that are looking to think like he thinks, looking to adopt his mentality, looking to share his thought process. His judgment is the way he looks at things, his disposition. So he says those individuals get what? They get mercy. Read on.
Verse 15. My son, blemish not thy good deeds, neither use uncomfortable words when thou givest anything.
Now, how does a young man, because we're talking about foolishness and is bound in the heart of a child, how and when do we start to go astray from the Most High? When do we, as young believers, young individuals, start to go astray? It says, blemish not thy good deeds. I mean, I could be going straight, and I could be on a straight and narrow path, and I tarnish my reputation. I have a good track record, and then something causes me to deviate from that good track record. Something takes me off course. I'm on a straight and narrow path. I'm doing things the right way. What gets me off track? What gets us off track? Everybody, I want you to think about this on your own, because you got to dwell on this question for yourself. What gets you off track when you're being nourished with discipline? When you're being fed the food the Most High has given you, and you're being confined and regulated to a certain strict way of thinking?
What's the thing that pulls us off? Like,
yes, that's the
because
question.
everybody has a little something different that pulls them off.
Yep.
It's like what situation or what time period or what set of circumstances or what excuses.
Yeah. What makes you say, you know what good is me trying, or this is not working? Yes, sir. Or what? I don't like this condition.
Pride.
Pride. What else? Because that's one thing. You're not getting what you want. But why aren't you getting what you want? When does that come to mind? When does that thought come to mind?
When you're inconvenienced.
When you're inconvenienced, or what else?
You're not giving it sincerity.
Yep. We're not giving it sincerity. Why? Well, what causes me to look at my situation being discontent, not giving with sincerity? I'm uncomfortable. I'm doing it against my will. I want control. What else?
So you're bartering the spirit.
What else? How you blemish your good deeds? Yes, sir. Let's be honest, man.
Like, because I don't want to give the Most High what he wants.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 17. Now, why don't we give the Most High what he wants? All those questions are right, but there's always a motivator.
There's always a.
There's always something that we see or that happens that makes us deviate and not like our condition or accept our condition.
In law enforcement, don't they call it the main culprit?
Yeah, the main culprit. You can say that, the main culprit.
It's always the main. Oh, that's another term for it, bro. That's the main culprit for that.
Probable cause.
Yeah, so it's always like it's always the same. They always expect the same people or the same element.
Yeah.
It's that element.
Yeah, I see that.
Or it's the same. It's always the same set of.
It's a mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, let's find out. What mindset is it? Let's read this.
Come. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 17. Let not thine heart envy sinners.
Is it what makes a person stop wanting to do right?
Envy.
But envy who in particular?
Sinners.
Why?
Because I want what they want. They got.
Exactly, because I see sinners. I see sinners that are not under the Most High's discipline. I see sinners coming and going. I see the liberty that sinners have, and I don't see the trouble that they have behind it. I don't see them suffering any pain. I don't see no goads inflicting no pain on them. I don't see the Most High stinging them for what they do wrong. They actually look like they're getting away with it. They're winning. And so, let's be honest. When you're walking a straight and narrow path, you start looking on. Oh, okay. Well, who else has got to be on this path? And how come I got to be under this path and under these restrictions? But I see these individuals. I see this person. I see this woman. I see this man. I see them living their life. They're not under any restrictions. Let's be honest with the situation. When you start looking outside of your condition and you start to compare yourself with the lifestyles of other people to determine whether your life is suitable for you or it's pleasurable or you're happy, You start to tell yourself, man, I'm not happy because what? I look around me. I'm looking around me. And when I'm looking around me, I'm seeing other people with half the restrictions that I'm under. And yet they can get away with what they want to do. They don't answer to nobody. They come and go as they please. They have nobody striking them with discipline. They have nobody on top of them telling them what to do. And it looks like they're just flying scot-free. And they're just living their life. And guess what spirit starts to stir in us? Envy, man. You start looking outside to other people's situation, and you stop looking at the condition that the Most High put you under, which is a disciplined life. The Most High said He nourisheth us with discipline. You constantly need the chastisement and the correction, but they don't seem like they need it. Yes, sir.
Post real quick.
Okay.
Job 5:2. Job 5:2. I never looked at this definition of scripture, but it kind of hits the same point.
Okay.
Right. Job chapter 5, verse 2. For wrath killeth the foolish man.
So that slow burning anger, it does kill the foolish man.
Yep.
Right? But what kills even more than intense, slow, unending anger? Read.
And envy slayeth the silly one.
Envy is worse than wrath. It's
Yep.
worse than anger.
Yep.
And slays who? The silly one. Definition of silly. Weak in intellect. It says, proceeding from want of understanding or common judgment.
Yep.
So my lack of judgment, my lack of spiritual thinking, and my lack of mental strength, when on that situation on top of my natural envy that comes from viewing and fixating myself and really analyzing and comparing my life to people that are free in the flesh, it says it slays. I'm
Man.
putting myself in a position to be a slave.
It's killing me.
It's killing me.
It's killing me when, as a simple-minded individual with little intellect, that other people are progressing and are not under such restrictions as I am. That other people have the freedom to live their life without the Most High having to sting them with every time they get off and they get off track. But the Most High said that's love. But we don't compute discipline as love.
Come on.
We don't compute the pain that the Most High gives us for chastisement purposes as love. We look at this as a suffering. We look at this as grievous, as a burden, as a problem, as bothersome. Why can't I be free? A lot of us want that. Why can't I be free and do what I want? Because the Most High loves you. And that sometimes is not a good enough reason to motivate somebody to stay on track. That's not enough sometimes. That's why it says, tarnish not thy he said, how did he say it? He said, blemish not thy good deeds. That's how I throw away all my good works. Because there's something outside of my condition that I want so bad that my good deeds aren't enough to keep me flying straight. And keep me with a singleness of mind. To keep me focused. So, like Dawi I just brought out, that envy kills the one of little intellect. They don't see the work that they're doing for the Lord is actually a good work. They don't see it. Finish that in Proverbs 23.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 17 reads, let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Most High all the day long.
It said, but be thou in the fear of the Lord what?
All day long.
But a lot of us don't want to be in the fear of the Lord all day long. It's too problematic. It feels like too much confinement. It feels like a prison. It feels like I'm in prison when I got to be in the fear of the Lord all day long. That means I got to make every good decision all day long. I can't never go for myself all day long. I can't never do me and what I want to really do all day long. That feels like you keeping people in a box. They want to get free real bad. They want to get. There's a burn and a lust to satisfy the flesh. When you put people under those confinements, they start to get agitated, irritated.
I'm under restriction.
I'm under restriction. They can't take it. I know that if anybody has had big brothers or cousins that you saw get away with a lot, whether it's partying, whether it's going out and hanging out with their friends, whether it's having sleepovers, but your parents say you can't have one, but you watch your cousins have sleepovers, you watch your friends come and go, all your brother's friends come and go, you see your brother hang out all night with no trouble, no belt, but you try to come in a minute after 9 and you already in trouble. You talking about you getting grounded. You come in a minute late, but the restriction on you like 13, your brother's like 15, 16, cousins are like 17, 18, and you watch them have all this liberty and all this freedom, and then you got to be stuck in the house. You can't go past the porch light. You got to stay on the porch. You can't go down the street past the street light. And when that street light come on, you better be in the house. Your limit, your restriction is the tree. You could play from that tree to that tree, and you play in the yard. But that's about it. You can play football in the street. You can play basketball in the driveway. But you go around the corner. But I better be able to look outside and see you all the way down the street. They got to be able to look outside the window. And if they look down the street, you got to be in sight. If they can't see you, you're in trouble. You ain't going out no more. And don't come in and go out. I'm going to use the bathroom and go back out. I'm going to go get some water and come back out. Ain't no coming in and out.
Stay in.
You either stay in or you'll stay out. Because you know why? Because you can't let that AC out, man. They don't want you to can't burn up the electricity bill. Can't let that air out. You let that AC out.
Let flies, the mosquitoes.
Or let flies in. Yeah. You either come in or come out. And once you come in, sometimes you get stuck.
Yep.
You ain't going back out. Oh, I just wanted some water.
Imagine that outside water.
Yeah.
The hose outside.
That's when that water hose become famous. You ain't going in. Because you already know once you go in, it's already like dawn.
Waiting for you.
It's a wrap, bro. The clouds already starting to get dark. Man, you already know it's about that time. You already ashy, sweaty. They like, nah, you need to get in the tub.
You smell like outside.
Yeah, you smell like outside. You got to get in the tub. So that it's over at that time.
Yeah.
So then it feels like, damn, you looking outside the screen. You looking outside the window. Everybody playing tag. You know what I'm saying? You snitching. He behind the tree. Go get him. He behind you. You snitching from the door. He over here. He hiding over here behind the car. He's over there. Like, why you snitching? You can't come out if you mad. You jealous. Watching everybody have fun. Be snitching from the window. So this is the reality. When you feel like I can't do something, but I got the urge to be free. This feeling kills people. That feeling of freedom, and I want to come and go as I please. I don't want to have to answer to nobody. That be killing people. It kills, man. Let's be honest. You want what you want, and you don't like being told no. And when other people have liberties that you don't possess, it's a killer. It kills the children of Israel, bro. David said in Psalm 73, he said, my feet were nigh before me. He said, I was almost gone, man. He said, I slipped. He said, because I was envious of who?
Of the wicked.
Of the wicked, bro. Envy of the wicked. Watching freedoms that other people possess that you don't possess is a killer to somebody under the Most High's restrictions and rules. And under the Most High's discipline and nourishment. That's love, man. Because all you're going to do with that freedom is what? Corrupt yourself. You ain't going to do nothing good with that freedom. All you're going to do is, especially if you've been confined for a very long time, you're going to try to have 10 years of fun in one night.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to try to get it all in one night. I'm trying to do everything tonight. Especially if I know I'm going to get whooped and it's too late.
Yep.
I already came in late, so I already know I'm going to get whooped. Man, I'm finna have some fun, man. This whooping's finna be worth it. I'm finna make it worth my while. I'm finna earn this whooping. I already know I'm getting whooped. So I'm about to have me some fun, and then it's deal with it when I get home. And you try to creep in the house all slow. Try to slide in, close the door all slow. You know what I'm saying? Just try to creep in. I remember one time my mom said, listen, go get in the tub.
Yeah, no.
Oh
No.
man,
No.
I would have had a tub and I'm in the tub showering up. Then the leather came.
Yep.
Whoop you while you wet. Catch you slipping. A wet whooping is a tough one. It's that water just create like intensity. Like I don't even know what the leather do with the water, but it do something. It do leather and water do something.
They found it out.
Yeah, yeah. It cut. I don't know. It cuts you. But this is what this is how the Most High deal with it. It soften your skin. Is that? It tenderize your skin out. Yeah, it's like you soak chicken. Marinate you. Oh my goodness. So he said, let not thine heart do what? Who got the problem?
Let not thine heart envy sinners.
Go ahead.
But be thou in the fear of the Lord all the day long.
This is how you keep yourself safe. This is how you keep out of trouble. This is how you stay in the Most High's merciful side. This is how you stay in the Most High's good graces. You stop looking outside of your condition. You stop looking at the freedoms of everybody else around you. That their freedoms is not your freedoms. Their liberty is not your liberty.
Or they assume pleasures.
Yeah, I like the way you said it. It's assumed pleasure.
There's assumed pleasure.
Yep. It's the idea that they're enjoying themselves and I'm not. You look at married women, always look at who? Unmarried women, single women. Married women love to see what single women are doing. All the single ladies. And you know, you got Beyonce talking about this, and then you like, damn, I remember what it's like to be. I'm meditating on being single. I said, man, I can't have no fun. You know what? You start thinking like that, you're on the way of slipping. You're looking at the freedoms of single women, and you're married. You're on the way to what he say? He says, blemish not thy good works. You're about to blemish and put a stain on all your good deeds. You're about to put a stain on your marriage. The scripture say marriage is honorable before all, and the bed undefiled. You're about to defile that bed, trying to keep up with single women, trying to do things that unmarried women do. Yes, sir.
Them works are to blemish too. You too idle. You know what I'm saying? Too idle. It's gonna be worse.
Yeah, married women ain't got time for that. They got responsibilities. They got duties. Ain't got time for all that. Read on.
Come. For surely there is an end.
Yeah, it said, because although it may look like what other people are doing outside of your condition in life, it may look like they're having a great time. He said, but there is a what?
There's an end.
There's an end. There's an end to all that perceived fun. Go ahead.
And thine expectation shall not be cut off.
Go ahead.
Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way.
He said, guide your heart in the way. He's telling you what it takes to keep your heart fixated and on a straight path, on a straight and narrow path, free from trouble, from diminishing and staining your name. So he's telling you advice. We just read earlier that the Most High always leaves disclaimers. He always leaves warnings and caution signs on how to function so you don't get in trouble. Read on.
Be not among wine bibbers.
He's telling you, do not put yourself around who?
Wine bibbers.
So this is a message for the children of Israel. He says, do not put yourself around wine bibbers. What are wine bibbers?
People that are drunk off the alcohol.
Let's get the definition. They're wine bibbers.
Wine
He's
bibbers.
telling you who not to be around.
It don't just mean a club situation, though. You can bib wine anywhere you want to go.
You know. I used to work at a warehouse, and I got a ride home from a dude named John, and we had a couple beers after work, and he decided to take a highway turn at 80 miles an hour.
Wow.
We did a turn off 35 South and I-10 where they meet, which you got to slow down to about 35, 45 miles an hour. He took that turn at 80 in a Zuzu Trooper. And the side wheels, the two wheels came off the ground. And I started yelling at him because the car was about to tip over. We took a turn so sharp that the two wheels came off the ground and we started to get airborne, started to come up on two wheels. I'm on the passenger side. I feel the car lift up. We're about to roll. And he's like, I got it. I got it. I'm like, no, bro, you ain't got it. You ain't got it. That's the last time I rolled with
That's
it.
not.
Because you know what? There's something that a wine bibber brings. And that's a disregard for what? For life and what else? For other people.
Yeah.
It's a disregard for discretion. Their decision making is off. He said, be not, we got the definition. Let's get it.
Wine bibber. It says, one who drinks much wine.
He says, do not put yourself around who?
One who drinks much wine.
Somebody that drinks much wine. He's telling you right now, if you want to keep a good reputation, and you don't be envying what other people are doing. Don't worry about how much other freedoms that other people are partying, and it seems like they're having a good time. They're drinking and having fun and doing all these things. He says, do not put yourself around the who.
He says, one who drinks much wine, a great drinker.
He says, a great drinker. So he says, let that go. He says, be not among who?
Wine bibber.
Go ahead.
Among Salakia. Among riotous eaters of flesh.
People that indulge themselves.
Indulgence.
These are indulgers. These are people who have insatiable appetites. That fun is not just one or two drinks to them. That's not fun.
Right.
They gotta go in. They gotta keep going in and in. And they gotta keep going. These are all-nighters. These are people that are not satisfied with just a simple night out. They just got to go with the whole 18 pack. They got to do it big. They got to drink the whole bottle. Yes, sir.
Well, it also means temperate, where they get the term tipsy.
Yeah.
Bibber also means temperate, which means one who habitually indulges in excessive use of spirits.
There you go. Getting tipsy, bro. Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Yeah. Those are the club bangers, right?
Yeah.
And then you know what them songs do? They make you go right to the bar.
Motivate.
And then you got the DJ. Don't forget your $2 vodkas and Sprites. We got screwdrivers on sale. We got Texas teas 3 for 1. You know what I'm saying? And you got, you know what I'm saying? Don't forget to tip your bartender. You getting, oh man, the DJ's going in. The music is going in. The atmosphere. Next thing you know, you're behind cuffs. You're in cuffs behind bars. Explaining yourself. Trying to figure out, well, what am I going to tell this officer? Let me chew some gum.
Yeah.
Let me chew gum. Let me throw the bottles out the car. Let me throw the cans and the bottle caps out the car. Let me do all these things so I can evade arrest. But it's coming. But he said, if you want to be safe, he said, do not put yourself around risky individuals.
Oh.
People are indulgers and they have no limitations. Read on.
Come. Among riotous eaters of flesh. For the drunkard.
It says for the who?
Drunkard.
So a lot of brothers want to associate themselves with people that are what?
Drunkard.
Because they envy their life. Man, they get to have fun. I want to go out and have fun like they're having fun. Their fun is not fun. There's an end to that fun. Sisters think that being a sister is us coming over having drinks. And that's us being sisters. No, that's not the definition of sisterhood.
Right.
What does sisterhood got to do with cracking bottles open? Splitting cups, red Solo cups, breaking open cups. Why do we have to toast as sisters? What does that have to do with it? Every time we're around, we got to toast each other. We got to be affiliated with alcohol has to be related. You know what? The Most High said wine was made to make men glad. He said, but let your moderation be known unto all men. That means that, you know what? 1 or 2 should be enough.
Yeah, you're right.
After that, hey, man, that's enough, man. Let's call it quits. We don't need anything after this. Anything more than that is indulgence.
Extremism.
You're about to go in and you're about the satisfaction of the feeling. But what does that got to do with brotherhood? What does that got to do with sisterhood? It doesn't have to always be associated with wine. Brothers will mask, or sisters will mask the engagement as if it's innocent fun, and then somehow, oh yeah, by the way, I got some drinks if you want. Is it that you want or they want? Because a lot of people tell you that, I brought drinks just in case you want. No, you want the drinks.
You're so considerate.
Yeah. How nice of you. How thoughtful.
Yeah.
But whose lust was talking? Is it my lust or their lust they're trying to satisfy? Their lust. Read, says 21.
For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty.
They have an end. And their end is what?
Poverty.
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 Go ahead.
Come to poverty.
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 Not poverty. Poverty.
Come. Poverty. And
I'm
drowsiness.
going to blame it on Michigan. I'm messing. I'll just shout out to anybody from Michigan online. I know there's a lot of people in poverty in Michigan. There's poverty everywhere.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm messing with you, my one.
It's a different level, man.
Yeah, poverty is harder than poverty. That's how you know it's bad.
For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty.
There you go. It says for the drunkard and the what?
The drunkard and the glutton.
So the drunkard or the drinker or the person that's excessive in spirits, in drinking, a person's always accepting the condition of let's crack this bottle. Let's drink this wine. They got a new flavor. 4 Locos out. They got them for the cheap right now.
Yep.
I have to always be numb with some type of drinking.
Man, they got the new what do you call them? Is it called soda, Spanish soda, the Doritos?
Oh,
Doritos. So what they called?
The Jaritos?
What they called? They got the vodka spiked Doritos.
Vodka spiked Jaritos?
Yes. They got the Jaritos now with the liquor in them. Sonic got their own liquor. Yeah, Seagrams. All this, bro.
It's a soda?
It's a soda, but it got liquor in it now.
Flavor soda.
It's flavored soda with the liquor in it.
Wow.
The drink.
They got different flavors. Now, if you're a kid growing up on that, it ain't nothing to transition to the one with the liquor in it. You're already familiar with the brand. You've already been accepting of the brand all your life.
Yeah.
So now you got these hard sodas. So he says, do what?
For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty.
For somebody that overindulges in a spirit, they shall come to what?
Poverty.
We're going to work on that.
It's worse.
But it's worse. It's worse. They finna it's about to get bad. That's why he says, don't put yourself around these individuals. Because their indulgence will contaminate you. They have an end of their indulgence. There's an end to their indulgence.
Wow, right here, bro. Poverty. It says destitution of property, right?
They're gonna lose their property. What else?
Barrenness of sentiment or ornament. I mean, I'm gonna lack sense. I'm gonna lack sentiment. I'm gonna lack morals because my conditions dictates my morals. Some people listen. In poverty, there's more crime because there's desperation present.
Yep.
So when a person's under the influence, I start getting what? I start getting desperate.
Yeah.
Because those negative thoughts, that's just what we were talking about earlier, people drink to forget their woes. But sometimes when you're drinking, the woes cut through that drunkenness and still talk to you out.
Yeah.
They still cut through. You still got what you want. You know you're still alone. You know you're still in a bad situation. You know you don't want to go home. Those sad or evil thoughts or those jealousies and envies penetrate that layer of drunkenness that we try to drink to forget our sorrows. And while I'm in the midst of trying to forget my sorrows, I'm more open to those negative conversations that I already have going inside anyway.
Yep. It resurfaces that negative that's in you. You know what I'm saying? But this is why it says, if you want to stay on a straight path, keep away from a person that's frequents the wine like that, and that also is full of indulgence, because their passion will override discretion. They'll make bad decisions upon bad decisions and put your life in jeopardy. Right? Read on.
And drowsiness.
And what?
And drowsiness.
Go ahead.
shall clothe a man with rags.
It says, and being drunken all the time, eventually that person will clothe themselves with what?
Rags.
Rags, man. They'll lose everything, and their condition will fall away. He's going to explain this. We'll explain this in the next verse. Give me verse 22.
Come, hearken unto thy father that begot thee.
And that's why it says that's what the purpose of parental guidance is. That's why the Most High is like a shepherd. That's the purpose of parental guidance. The Most High is there. Parents are there to put limitations upon you. Guides, leaders, tutors, governors, teachers, elders are there to put restrictions upon your behavior, not as a punishment, but to keep you safe, to keep you out of trouble, to keep you out of harm's way. That's verse 22, right?
Not the rest of it.
Yeah, go to verse 22.
Hearken unto thy father that begot thee,
Go ahead.
and despise not thy mother when she is old.
Right, because your mother and your father both are giving you good advice from both ends on how to keep yourself safe. This is the first set of shepherds that the Most High give you is your parents. Those are the first shepherds. They're there to put restrictions and confinements on your life so you don't end up like the next person or the neighbors or the people in the community. So now you're not a victim of the community. You don't do what the community does. You don't indulge in the same violence the community indulges in. You don't have the same issues. That's your first set of government. Is your parents.
That's true. We be mad at them.
Yeah. But you know what's bad? Sometimes the parents they lay down the wrong influence. The parents are drunkards. Sometimes the parents indulge too much. Sometimes the parents pass down their addictions to the children. And that's all I've seen in my household is people just pounding alcohol. That's the routine. That's the routine is they work hard Monday through Friday, get a beer or two at the end of the day, and on the weekend they go harder. Then they go to church on Sunday. If they go to church on Sunday, they're at the church, the laundromat, or the car wash.
Wow.
One of the three. That's one of the three on Sunday. The church, the laundromat, or the car wash. One of the three. And they drinking at the laundromat and the car wash.
Maybe at the church.
Maybe at the church. Or they try to be sober, asking for forgiveness on Sunday. But what it happens that, you know, that parental guidance should be there from the beginning. And this is what the Most High establishes to keep you out of harm's way. So it's actually a safety net. It's not a problem. But we look at restrictions and discipline as problematic, as a burden. Why do I got to listen to you? Why do I have to put away my indulgences? Because it's for your own good. It's for your own good. Now let's go to Luke chapter 15 and read verse 10, because we got to examine this spirit a little bit more carefully. And there's already plenty of examinations or plenty of examples that we can go to in this spirit. There's plenty of examples already. Let's go to Luke chapter 15.
Drunkenness.
Let's read. Yeah, Luke. And like I said, this is preferably because the Most High calls us His children. So this is for all ages, man. This is for all ages. Yes, sir.
I got a question. What if a child is experiencing that with his parents?
Right. You know it's already a.
Now, what should a child do if he has parents like that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'll answer that with a scripture. Because it's very difficult to see your parents not be able to hide their indulgences or their habits and not have an effect on you. I'll tell you that right now. And I don't want to just keep using my situation because everybody got a story. Yep. And everybody can tell you what they've witnessed in their households when they've seen the extremeness of bad parenting. You know, I can speak for myself and say I saw on the weekends, I saw a keg in the living room. I saw weed in the kitchen. There's something about the weed and the food, they just go together.
Yeah, all the time in the movies.
The munchies, yeah. Or weed at the back gate, outside in the back porch. and I saw heroin and crack in the garage.
Different little sections. For
Yeah,
the sections.
and in one house, there was different pockets of lust. And wherever you want to be at, if you're the drinker, you're going to be in the living room with the keg. If you're the smoker, you're going to be in the kitchen with the weed heads or on the back patio. And if you're into other stuff that my uncles was on, you're in the garage. And they don't want that door. They don't want that door open.
The door closed.
Keep that door closed. Because they sharing needles. And they smoking crack. I can only speak for myself because I've seen this. That doesn't mean that I'm going to do those things. But it's very difficult to see these things as a child and not have an effect on you. Very, very, very difficult. Very difficult. And what I would recommend is Ecclesiasticus, to answer your question, Karai, is Ecclesiasticus chapter 22, verse 9.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 22, verse 9.
Yep.
If children live honestly.
You know what my recommendation is? For any child having to witness that type of extreme indulgence and incorrect examples laid down, my advice is what the scripture's saying right here. You better fight like hell if you're a child and you're in an environment where you see parents giving in to their lust. You better fight like hell as children to make sure that you live what?
If children live honestly.
And you better be honest as possible. And you better say, hey, this is affecting me. This is pulling on me. Because you know what? Before you know it, when that cigarette is in the ashtray and you're a little kid and your father or your mother get up and go to the bathroom and they leave the room, what you going to do with that cigarette in the ashtray?
What it is.
You're going to want to see why that cigarette is such an intricate part of their life and why they got to have that cigarette in their life on a daily basis. What's so important about that damn cigarette? What's so special about that cigarette that they send you to the store with $5 to go get them a pack and they tell you keep the change to buy some candy? What's so big about that damn cigarette? What's so special about that damn cigarette? Or you got the uncles that chew snuff or do dip. Have them too. You know, every day they just take their lip and they just get a big old knuckle and just put it like this. They have this all day long, spitting in the bottle. Hey, boy, you go fishing this weekend?
Yep. Sunflower seeds.
Yeah, want to go fishing this weekend? They spitting in a can or spitting in a cup. Boy, don't drink that cup. There ain't nothing but slime and spit and tobacco in there, raw. And then you call yourself, hey man, you know I'm gonna just tie a little bit in there. Yeah, boy, put some hair on your chest. Yeah, they put a little bit on your lip and then they get you immediately sick and nauseated, cause tobacco is a poison. Straight to your stomach, you get sick, you get lightheaded, you want to throw up. You be like, man, how are they doing this, man? What are they doing to themselves? They killing themselves. But you know what? You gotta be honest about what you see. You better be honest and know that if you gotta be honest about the effect that it has on you, so that you're not curious to see what the fun is. So what is the fuss about? Why do they so have to have this on a daily basis? Read.
Verse 9. If children live honestly and have wherewithal.
And they have what?
Wherewithal.
You better have some type of understanding. You better have some type of awareness. You can't be asleep. You can't be ignorant. You got to be honest and you got to be wise as a child. You got to pay attention. Because you know what you'll see? You can see the influence, but you also got to see the damage that it does too. It's almost like beer is like a sport.
Yeah.
All you see is cans in the trash. There's a separate trash can strictly for beer cans.
It's special.
They smash a beer can, throw it in that special pile that they recycle, and that's the special beer trash can. And you gotta as a child, you gotta sit back and watch their end. You start watching their marriages go bad. You start watching their health go bad.
It's a process.
You start watching them slip. You start watching them have car accidents. You start watching them lose things, lose jobs. You got to sit as a child. You got to pay attention. Read.
If children live honestly and have wherewithal.
Go ahead.
They shall cover.
They said they shall do what?
They shall cover.
The what?
The baseness of their parents.
It says they can overcome the what?
The baseness of their parents.
Their low life parental indulgences that they witnessed growing up. That rated R lifestyle that your parents lived, that rated R lifestyle, he says they can recover from that. But they gotta be honest, and they gotta be wise, they gotta keep their eyes open, they gotta pay attention. That's what I would tell a child. Pay attention. Don't just look at the supposed fun that they're having. Look at the downside of that lifestyle. There's a downside and a repercussion to that lifestyle. And oftentimes you don't see it right away. You see the fun, you see the food cooking, you see the barbecue smoke, you see the barbecue, you see everybody eating at the table, but you're not watching the backside of that so-called fun that all your family members are involved in. That's if you're in that type of environment. That would be my advice. Because you don't have to fall victim to that lifestyle. But peer pressure is a mother. Peer pressure is hard. When you got your uncles that you look up to, you got your aunties that you look up to, you got your cousins that you look up to, or your big brothers and big sisters that you look up to, and you watching them indulge constantly in their flesh, and you think that's not going to have an appeal to you, you got to be honest with yourself. You can't be walking around lying to yourself, he's stupid. But you want to do it, though.
I'm curious. I'm envious.
He's dumb, but you want to do it? Because I wanted to do it. Because I'm going to be honest. Yes, I witnessed all these things. Going out partying, having a good time was on a list of things to do because I witnessed it. That was the family thing. Barbecues, cookouts, beer, weed, whatever. Whatever your flesh is entitled to, there's a section of the family to do that. Or you got the boosters and you got the thieves and thieves in the family. You want something stolen? You want something cheap? You know who to go talk to. Hey, man, they got these new shoes. Well, you know where they at.
I can get them for you.
I can get them for you. You know who to talk to. But that the corruptness that's in a household, you don't want to fall victim to that. That's why it's really we got to speak to the children.
Yeah.
We really got to speak to the children because they're going to see things that they don't need to be seeing. And they got to know that that's not fun. That's not fun at all. And there's an end to that lifestyle. And the end of it is not fun either.
It's like you go to elementary school together, and you get in middle school and they become like different people.
Yep.
In high school, it solidifies that personality.
Yep.
And they get stronger in it, and then grow apart by senior year. Everybody's going apart in their different familial directions, based off of whatever family structure they had or whatever vices they were around.
Yep.
Like you're not the person that we're not the same people that we were when we were in the sandbox.
Nope.
Or we were playing sports together.
Nope. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 23. Wisdom of Solomon, the Apocrypha, chapter 6, verse 23. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're going to go back to Luke, or go to Luke 15 and verse 10 in just a second. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 23.
God. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 23. Neither will I go with consuming envy.
He says, neither will I go with what?
Consuming envy.
Why is the Bible called envy consuming?
Wow.
Because envy is just a precursor to something that will cause you to dissipate over time. Envy has such a weathering effect that envy, if it's in you and you're watching other people's lives and you want their freedoms, you want their life, you want their advantages or their perceived fun, eventually it will wear away at you. It's not something that just you got it and it goes away. He calls envy consuming because it dissipates you over time. It doesn't just hit you overnight. It slowly starts to erode your discipline when you constantly watch people's freedoms. When you constantly pay attention to other people's liberty, it starts to wear away at your integrity. It starts to wear away at your discipline. And things that you would have been like, man, hell no, I ain't never doing that. When that used to be your stance, man, those people are stupid.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, maybe it's not that bad. To each his own. It went from, hell no, I never do that, to each his own. Everybody's got to die something. I thought you were the hell no guy. I thought you were man, that lifestyle is for suckers. Now you're doing the same thing that you once said that was for suckers.
Or do anything once. Try anything once.
Try anything once.
Twice if you like it.
Yeah. Man, but I'm not like them though.
Yeah, I'm not like
So
that.
that's another one that we
That's a
say.
real one.
Well, I do what they do, but I'm not like them.
No.
Yeah. There's always an excuse.
That's a real
The
one.
reason why he says consuming envy, because envy, looking at other people's freedoms, does wear away at your discipline. It does wear away at your ability to say, no, I'm not going to do that. That's why it's so important. That's why I said, for children in particular, you got to understand the impact of peer pressure and watching other people so-called get away with things that they shouldn't be doing. It's a trap. There's an end to it. All right? So let's let that go, and let's go to Luke chapter 15. You got Luke chapter 15, verse 10. Because we got to look at this in the scripture too.
Good. Luke.
And there's examples in the Bible of this already. Luke chapter 15, and we're going to examine one of them.
Good.
Luke chapter 15, verse 10. Let's get that.
Good. Luke chapter 15 and verse 10. Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of angels of the Most High over one sinner that repented.
He said there's joy over what?
It says, there is joy in the presence of angels of the Most High over one sinner that repented.
So the Most High loves the underdog. The Most High loves the comeback story. The Most High loves when somebody that has gotten it wrong in their life and they get back on track. The Most High loves to see, the angels love to see somebody recover themselves from that lifestyle and not be sucked in by the wiles of the devil and the impulses of the devil. The Most High loves it, man. He loves to see you become victorious over your flesh, over your impulses, over your desires. He loves to see you win, man. The Most High wants to see you win. Let's go down. Read on down.
Verse 11. And he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me.
Now he said, first of all, listen how he's talking. He said, Father, do what?
Give me the portion of goods that falleth to me.
Now, when as a kid, when you tell somebody, give me this, first of all, there was a saying that used to go along with that. They used to say, Gimme got his neck broke messing with his kinfolk. That was an old saying that went along with when you use the word gimme. Gimme get your neck broke, man. You don't just tell somebody gimme. So, back to where we was at, though, in Ecclesiastes. And hold this. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 15. We were just there a minute ago.
Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 15. My son, blemish not thy good deeds.
First of all, you're doing right, but now you're starting to talk crazy. This is one way that you blemish your good deeds. You start talking crazy. You start getting bold and getting out of character and start talking out of place. He said this is how you know when somebody's about to put a stain on their good deeds. They're about to throw all their good deeds in the trash because they start to talk crazy. That's how you first recognize it's a problem. That something's going on inside of them that ain't right. They start talking crazy. They start losing respect. He said, blemish not thy good deeds. Go ahead.
Blemish not thy good deeds.
How? Go ahead.
Neither use uncomfortable words.
Because they start use what? That's how you know somebody's going off.
Uncomfortable words.
Because they start saying things that's out of character. That's not like that. That's how you know you talk to brothers and sisters. That's how you know that they're starting to veer away from a righteous path. They start talking crazy.
Yeah.
They start losing respect. That's the first sign that something's eating away at this individual and something's burning inside of them. Because they start talking crazy. That's a sure sign that something's going on within this individual. And they're affected by something.
He was out of balance, man. He sounds wild.
Yeah.
Saying some talking like a fool.
Rash. Foolish. That's how you know that somebody's got an illicit burn within themselves that's not being satisfied. They got an itch that's not being scratched. They want something they're not getting. They start talking crazy. That's how you know they start to blemish all their years of being on point. They start to throw all them years in the trash. And the first thing that you notice, they get out of bounds. Even with a wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. When are you just, hey, dude. When am I dude? Dude, I'm dude now? I'm just bro?
Bro, yeah.
Hey, bro. Like, oh, I'm bro now? I'm on bro level? But that's how you know something's wrong. Oh, they don't call you by your Hebrew name. They call you by your Jake name.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Jake now.
Oh, I'm Jake. I'm the Jake guy now.
Richard, whatever.
Richard Paul.
Yeah.
Richard Paul McAllister. That's not my name.
Yeah. What
I'm Barzal Amiath. Gabar. Warrior. The Warrior Amiath. Warrior. Gabar.
Yeah.
It's Kazakh.
Yeah.
Something. But no, you're John Paul McAllister. You know something wrong. That's how you know something's going on. People start talking out of character. That'd be a sign that something's going on within this individual. They're about to stain their good deeds. God.
Job 15:3-5. Just right on point. It goes into explaining. Oh, I'll say it loud.
Yeah.
We're whispering the verse breakdown.
Yeah, no, break it down.
Yeah, Job 15 and verse 3 real quick.
Job chapter 15, verse 3. Should he reason with unprofitable talk?
What he's talking about is what is the benefit of a man reasoning with unprofitable talk, where what he's saying out of his mouth can do no good, it has no spiritual benefit to the other party. Should he reason? Should he justify himself with unreasonable talk? Read on.
Or speeches wherewith he can do no good?
This is a rhetorical question. There should be no speeches where you cannot do any good, or where you're not edifying, where you're not bringing out the spiritual side of you, the spiritual version of you. So if I'm saying something, there should be a spiritual backing behind it. Because if not, it's unreasonable, and it has no positive influence on the person you're speaking to.
It doesn't edify.
It doesn't edify. Exactly. Read on.
Yea, thou castest all fear.
So why doesn't a person speak good when they have the opportunity to speak good?
Thou castest all fear.
Why wouldn't a person speak with profitable talk, edifying talk, motivating talk?
Yea, thou castest all fear.
Because you don't fear the end result. You don't fear the Most High. In that particular moment, the Most High is not a concern. The punishment of the Most High is not a concern. In that particular moment, your relationship with that person is not a concern. What's a concern and what's important to you is getting that emotion out, getting that fire out, because that's where you're at. That's what you find valuable at that time.
Because they have an unquenched thirst about them.
Yeah.
And you know what? Until that thirst gets quenched, you're gonna feel their wrath.
Yeah.
And people gonna let their frustrations out on you, because it's something that they want that they're not getting. But it's also something coming from outside, coming in. But keep going on your point.
Read on.
And restrain his prayer before the Most High.
What he's saying is now you're restraining the Most High from receiving your prayers because you can't control your mouth. You can't control your mouth, so therefore the Most High doesn't stop listening to you. He doesn't want to hear unprofitable talk, negative, scornful, hateful talk.
Well, he's supposed to bless you after you talk crazy?
Come on, bro. That's not even reasonable. That's not realistic. I'm going to cuss my husband out, but I need my blessings.
But you supposed to get rewarded for that?
I need my rewards. You got to forgive me for that.
Yeah. That's right. That's how you know. That'd be the first line of how you know somebody's going out of order, getting out of order.
God.
Go back to Luke 15.
Luke chapter 15, and verse 10.
No, you were at verse 11.
Okay.
Verse 12, actually.
Yeah, verse 12. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me.
Go ahead.
And he divided unto them his living.
He said, now when he says he divided unto them his living, what the father did before he even passed away, he said he went ahead and split up the inheritance to the children. He divided up unto them their living, meaning he gave them, now the oldest, by law, the oldest child receives a double portion of the inheritance. So the oldest son receives double, then the other children receive a portion of what's remaining. All right? So the younger son wanted his inheritance. But give me Give me a Ecclesiastes and the give me Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 7, verse 11. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 11.
7-11.
Mm-hmm.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 11.
Yep.
Wisdom is good
It says wisdom is good. Go ahead.
with an inheritance.
Is an inheritance good by itself?
No.
So, although this young son urged the father to go ahead and break bread in advance before his father passed away, was that money, was that inheritance going to do that son any good? No. Because when is an inheritance good?
Wisdom is good with an inheritance.
If you don't have, you can have an inheritance, but if you don't have wisdom, then the inheritance doesn't do you any good if you're not using wisdom.
That's true.
You can have the money, but the money does you no good if the money is not accompanied with wisdom. You can chase a better job, but that doesn't mean a better job provides you wisdom.
Or you can get a new relationship. You want to just throw away the old one.
Yep.
You can get a new one. It don't mean it's going to be better than the one you had.
If you don't have wisdom, what you perceive to be a blessing will not be a blessing. If you're not associating wisdom with whatever you possess. You have to have wisdom in order for an inheritance to actually be worth anything. Hold that. Now go back to where we at. Let that go. He said wisdom is good with what?
With an inheritance.
So, where do you get the wisdom from? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 18. Where do you get the wisdom from? What good is that? What good is that son, that younger son, wanting that inheritance from his father if he didn't get wisdom?
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 18. The fear of the Lord is the crown of wisdom.
It said, what's the crown of wisdom?
The fear of the Lord.
The benefit of wisdom is what?
Wisdom.
Is the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the crown of wisdom. So, if I pursue the fear, if I have the fear of the Lord, the reward is the crown of wisdom, meaning I become wise. That's the reward of having the fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the source of where wisdom is gotten from. Same chapter, just read verse 27.
Verse 27. For the fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction.
Because it says that the fear of the Lord is what?
Wisdom.
The fear of the Lord is wisdom and instruction.
So where do you get wisdom from?
Oh, you get it from first having a consciousness and a fear and respect for Christ and the Most High.
You got to have a fear of the Lord first. But that is what brings you to wisdom. If you don't have a fear of the Lord, you will never get wisdom. If you don't have wisdom, the inheritance does you no good. You got to have one in order for the other one to be a real benefit. Because we know a fool and his money shall what?
Soon depart.
Soon depart. What good is the money, but you make impulsive, foolish decisions? It does you no good. It's only good when you have wisdom. But wisdom is only gotten by how much fear of the Lord do you possess. So, wisdom comes from the fear of the Lord. Verse 20 said the same thing. Read verse 20.
Verse 20. The root of wisdom.
It says the root of wisdom is what?
Is to fear the Lord.
Where are we getting? Where do you get wisdom from?
Fear of the Lord.
You got to fear the Lord first. See, if you don't fear the Lord, you're doomed anyway. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much money what you inherit or what you possess. None of it is going to do no good. You can get a bonus. You can get raises. You can get a whopping 6-figure income. But what good is it if you don't have wisdom? And then what good is it if you don't have the fear of the Lord? If you lose your fear of the Lord, your money does you no good. It's a waste. That's why when you go back, let that go. Let's go back to Luke chapter 15. Well, let's read verse 13.
Luke chapter 15 and verse 13. And not many days after the youngest son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country.
It said, not many days, the young son his father broke bread, gave him his inheritance.
Here you go.
And he went into a what?
into a far country.
Why would he go into a far country?
Nobody knows him, can't be seen.
Say it again.
No one knows him, can't be seen.
Nobody recognize him.
Nobody can discipline him.
Boom. Nobody. This is why people. This is why people want to separate themselves, because they want to get away from what? Discipline. Yes, sir.
Is that why people say, I like to be alone?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly why people like to be alone. I work better by myself. Do you really? I'm better alone. Oh, do you? Are you really? You just don't like, or I don't get along with sisters. This is a great one. I don't get along with sisters. Why sisters don't hang with sisters? Is it because the sisters don't want them around?
No.
Or what is the issue of why they're not with other sisters? Because I don't want sisters watching me. And I don't want sisters telling me what to do. And I don't want sisters questioning me. It's not that the sisters are bad. It's not that the brotherhood is bad. I go far away and seclude myself so that I can be isolated from people telling me what's wrong with me. This is why this young son took that inheritance and went into a far country. Because I don't want nobody telling me what to do.
Yeah.
I don't want no more discipline. I don't want no more structure. I want freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Read that part again.
God. Luke chapter 15 and verse 13. And not many days after the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living.
He said he wasted his substance. It says wisdom is good with wisdom is good with an inheritance. So he had his inheritance, but what didn't he have?
Wisdom.
He didn't have wisdom, and he didn't have the root of wisdom, which is what?
Fear of the Lord.
Fear of the Lord. He didn't take the fear of the Lord with him.
Yeah.
So when you don't take the fear of the Lord with you, he said, what do you do with your substance?
He says, there he wasted his substance with riotous living.
He said he wasted his substance with what? Riotous living. What is the purpose of the wisdom anyway? Go to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20. Go to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20. Or shall we say, what is the purpose of the fear of the Lord? What is the benefit of having the fear of the Lord with you?
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20. Hear counsel.
It said here what?
Hear counsel.
Get counsel. What else?
And receive instruction.
You get instruction. What else?
That thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
So what is giving you wisdom, and what's helping you in your life in the end?
Counsel.
So when you're getting wisdom, somebody is providing you with what?
Counsel.
They're giving you counsel. Yes, sir.
That means you got to adapt your thinking.
Yes, that means do you receive their counsel? Can you receive the counsel that's being given to you? You know what we can do? We can counsel people. We do it all the time. We counsel with brothers on what to do with their finances all the time. Same thing happened every month. They're back in the poorhouse every month. Why?
Well, Starbucks, certain
out
types
every
of
day.
meals, lack of meal prep, lack of paying attention, not following advice was the biggest one.
Not making a list of things that you're gonna go buy when you go into a grocery store.
Yeah,
You don't
that's a big one.
impulse shop.
That's a big one.
They say you never go into a grocery store hungry because
Yeah,
you're just gonna start throwing stuff in the basket. You're not planning meals. You're not prepping. Okay, this meal is gonna last me for this amount of time.
Yeah.
Or if I get this can stretch for 3 days. When if I spend this In and Out right here to spend $20, I'm gonna eat this in 2 hours. I'll be hungry again.
Yeah, convenience food. That's like the
It's for
major.
convenience. Or I can take a little bit longer, make this food stretch, and make my money stretch. Make my own meals and prep my own meals. They're healthier. They're healthier that way,
And it tastes better.
and it tastes better. It just takes a little bit more time, but that meal lasts me 3 days. But you see, we give men counsel all the time. But every month I'm back in the poorhouse. Sometimes within a week of getting paid, men are already broke. Because they have this riotousness about them. They have this impulsiveness about them, They have this thirst about them that hasn't been quenched.
And other men will have the same
Same
exact
pay
check
scale. Same pay scale.
and same set of circumstances.
And they're not down on their luck within a week. They're not borrowing $5, $10 for gas within a week or within a couple of days. He said what?
Proverbs 19 and 20. Hear counsel.
But the Most High provided that wisdom comes in the form of counsel.
Hearing.
It comes in the form of counselors. But a lot of us want to run away from the counselors. We want to go far away from the counselors. We don't want to hear the counselors. Read on.
And receive instruction.
We don't want to hear instruction. That's why we go far away. That's why we isolate. I don't want to hear counsel and instruction. That's why I want to be by myself.
Or we get 50 counsels and we forget all the counsels.
Yep. Read on.
That thou mayest be wise in the latter end.
It'll help me in the end. There's a benefit to the counsel and the instruction.
Yeah.
But we run from it. Read on.
There are many devices in a man's heart.
What will the wisdom do? It says the wisdom will keep you away from all your what?
Devices.
You got all kind of impulses. You got all kind of lust that you want to spend your money on and burn your money on. You need somebody to give you counsel and wisdom on how to live and make the best of your resources. Because you know what? If you don't have any, if you run from the people that are there to give you instruction and to give you counsel, then you're going to be spent and burnt out on your devices. Your devices will get the best of you.
Wow.
Your lust will get the best of you.
They'll eat up the resource.
The lust will eat up the resources.
Wow.
He said, but because there's many devices. Go ahead.
There are many devices in a man's heart.
Yeah, you damn right. A man got a lust when he get paid. Man, I got all kind of ideas. I got thoughts. I got places I want to go. I got things I want to do. I got things I want to buy. I've already meditated on it. Men will meditate on things that they ain't never thought about. And they don't even have no need for.
They're carrying the mind.
I want a tarantula this week. Like, brother, what will a tarantula do for you, brother? I just, I just thought about it. I just thought about a pet.
It's low maintenance.
Low maintenance.
That's
He only eat once a month. Kind of fond of it. I just want a tarantula. Like, brother, you can't even eat and survive for a week, and you want to eat. You want to feed you and a tarantula, brother.
Or like celebrities do. They get like exotic pets. They get like tigers and lions. Like, you don't have no business with a lion. You live in America.
Brother, yeah. Then the lion get too big.
Yeah.
You get to start off as a cub and they get too big. Like they found the lion in New York.
Yeah.
In a damn apartment. The lion was in an apartment building in New York.
What is that exactly?
Why are you always growling in there? What's that noise?
It's a real thing too.
Yeah. For what purpose, man? Because he said because a man got devices. What made you want to get a lion and put him in an apartment with you? Because you have devices. And that sounds just as ludicrous as some of the things that brothers be wanting to blow their money on. But they don't say nothing. So they get paid and they go by themselves. Because I don't want nobody to tell me what not to get. I don't want to tell nobody what to do. I want nobody telling me what to do. So I go get paid, I get my money, I'm gone. I can evade counsel. But you don't realize that the counsel was to keep you away from you. That's what the purpose of the counsel was. The counsel was to keep you away from your impulses. Read.
There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Most High, that shall stand.
It says the counsel of the Most High, that shall stand. That's what you should supposed to be leaning on. Read on.
The desire of a man.
It says what?
The desire of a man.
Go ahead.
Is his kindness.
Go ahead.
And a poor man is better than a liar.
Go ahead.
The fear of the Most High tendeth to life.
It says, and if you know what's good for you, what's one thing that you always possess?
The fear of the Most High.
The fear of the Lord. The fear of the Most High keeps you in order. It keeps you out of trouble. It keeps you out of harm's way. It keeps your life worth living. If you maintain the fear of the Lord, a healthy state, a healthy fear of the Lord, your life will do well. It will be less painful. You'll live a painless life. It says the fear of the Lord does what?
Tendeth to life.
Because it keeps you away from you. That's the purpose of the wisdom. You need something to keep you away from your lust, to tell you what not to do. You need somebody to tell you what not to do. Otherwise, you're going to do what your lust tell you to do.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of having tutors, governors, teachers, elders, leaders, parents, brothers, sisters. You run away from what's keeping you safe. Yes, sir.
I was gonna say, I done plenty of time to myself, but we think that running away from the counselors, running away from people that have disciplined us, is the beneficial, decision for ourselves. But we don't get it, bro. We always fail at the end of the day, bro. We always fail.
You know, it's meant to fail. It's meant for you to fail in the end. You have to fail. Otherwise, you won't learn. You won't see the benefit of what the Most High provides you of having a multitude of counselors around you. A multitude of eyes, a multitude of ears. You won't see the benefit of it. Read.
Proverbs 19 and 23.
No, let that go. Hold on. We're going to go back to Luke.
God. Luke chapter 15 and verse 14.
No. Finish 23. I'm sorry. Finish 23.
Proverbs 19 and 23. The fear of the Most High tendeth to life,
Go ahead.
and he that hath it
And if you have it, read on.
shall abide satisfied.
And you shall live what?
Wow.
Satisfied.
And you'll be satisfied in life. Your life will be great. And what else?
He shall not be visited with evil.
And you won't have to feel no pain. Because the Most High uses pain to get our attention. So the Most High takes the stress away. He takes the grief away when you learn how to appreciate the wisdom which comes from counselors and instructions that comes from counselors that are made to make your life better in the end. They're not there for your destruction. Brothers and sisters are there for your benefit. Let that go. Go back to Luke.
God. Luke chapter 15 and verse 14. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine.
It said, and when he blew all of his resources, guess what happens?
Conditions change.
Conditions changed.
Unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Now I went and splurged and blew my resources, and then now there's a need. Now I got needs. And what happened?
It says, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want.
What does that mean when somebody begins to be in want? What does that mean?
Lacking.
Man, you lacking, bro.
But lacking bad, though.
Yeah.
Because everybody lacks from here and there, but you're lacking. You're in want. I mean, it's this intense lack.
Man, your survival is at stake. Poverty, bro. Your survival is at stake. Your livelihood is at stake. That's what happens. Proverbs 21 and 20 real quick.
And then a regular famine now. This is a mighty famine.
Brother, you gotta go.
Long
This is
family.
a
Right?
mighty famine.
You gotta go down to like cupboards. Like what do you have in your cupboard? Like you got to get that corn in the back of the can.
Yeah.
Cream going on.
Oh,
You got to get them green beans. You got to get them Goya beans in the back.
Yeah.
You got to start mixing and matching.
Yeah.
Read.
Proverbs 21 and 20. There is treasure to be desired.
Yeah, there's treasure to be desired, but what we want the benefits. They said there's treasure to be desired. People want a certain lifestyle. The problem is they blow their resources on that particular lifestyle that they want. They really can't afford the lifestyle that they want. And they don't listen to wisdom to tell them that, to be honest to them, to say, brother, you can't afford the things that you desire. You can't afford it. The kind of lifestyle you want, you can't live that life, brother. You can't duplicate the life that you see other people living. Once again, it's based off envy. It be burning people up. Read on.
There is treasure to be desired.
Yeah, of course.
And oil in the dwelling of the wise.
Go ahead.
But a foolish man
It said, but a foolish man, go ahead.
spendeth it up.
It said, but a foolish man does what?
Spendeth it up.
It wastes resources.
And one of the best resources is time. The time that you have to learn from your counselors.
Yep.
Got plenty of time, plenty of counsels, hours of communication. Waste all that time, and then here comes new spirits that have need of those resources that you were readily available, that you had on the regular at a split second. And they gotta wait a couple days or a couple weeks to get those same counsels, because new spirits are sucking the marrow of those new energies.
Yep. Read that in Ecclesiastes 18 and 30. Before we finish in Luke. Ecclesiastes 18 and 30.
Come.
Ecclesiastes chapter 18 and verse 30 reads, Go not after thy lust.
That's why it tells us to go not after what?
Thy lust.
You know, a lot of us will have lust-related expenses. These will be expenses and desires that have nothing to do with actual surviving. These things are just accents. We like to accentuate ourselves. We like to add things to us, beautify us ourselves, ornament, decorate ourselves, accessorize ourselves with things that are just, they have nothing to do with wisdom.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why we're in a situation where I'm always hurting, I'm always struggling, I'm always having a difficult time surviving, but there's lust-related expenses. And you need counselors and you need advisors to be able to decipher when the expenses are truly a need. Is this a need or is this a want?
That's a good question.
Do you need this or you just want this? A wallet is a wallet. A wallet holds money. Why have the Louis Vuitton wallet with no money in it?
Well, it would be nice.
It would be
And
nice
I deserve.
because they got the Coach wallet on sale for $200. So you got a Coach wallet with no money in it. We've actually seen this. We've actually seen this before. You got the Louis Vuitton wallet because of the brand, but there's not a dollar in there. But you spent $450 on the wallet.
Well, I gotta be fly. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta have something.
Because it poke out the pocket just a little bit, like off the back. You can see it say LV. It say LV just so you know, stick up out the back pocket.
That's a real thing.
It's a real thing, brother.
I want you to see that, just so you know.
Just so you know, I got Louis Vuitton.
There might be a money clip too, just so you know my wallet.
But there's nothing in it though.
But I got the money clip.
But this is where you got elders and teachers and tutors and parents to help you keep away from lust-related expenses, man.
Right.
A lot of things that are wants that are not necessarily needs. Read on.
What verse again?
We're in 30.
30? Okay, come. Ecclesiastes chapter 18 and verse 30. Go not after thy lusts, but refrain thyself from thy appetites. If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock.
Now, sister online says she knows somebody that just spent $1,000 on a purse. Now, I was just in the pawn shop looking for a lawnmower. There's a whole lot of purses in there. Name brand. That's been pre-used. Somebody went and dropped some major money, got them in a glass case. Refurbished Louis, Prada bags, Fendi bags, Coach bags, Dooley and Burke bags. I ain't seen no Birkin bag, but I'm in the pawn shop looking for a lawnmower. But all these purses are in the cases because somebody went and impulse bought, and they had to have that name brand purse, and it ended up in the pawn shop next to the Nintendos, next to the PS5s. They put the PS5s and the Apple Watches together with the purses. So you went and dropped $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 on a purse, and it ended up right next to the PS5. Depreciated in value, and they asking $400 for it. I mean, you lost $800 on it, on something that was it wasn't an asset. It was a liability. A liability depreciates.
Yeah.
An asset keeps its value. Yes, sir.
If they're asking for it, they paid them less than that.
That means they really gave him $2.
Yeah.
They really gave him $2.
150.
They gave him $150. They were like, you know what? Is it real We already got 10 of these.
Right.
We already got a lot of these in stock. We really can't do nothing for you. The best we can do is 150. We'll talk to your manager and see if you give you 175. Maybe your manager give you 175 for it. So you didn't drop $1,300, $1,200, $2,000 on a purse. You got $175 from it, then they flip it and sell it for $4. Then somebody gonna negotiate and get it for $3. $350, and you still lost because we don't separate. You need somebody to help you decipher if this is a need or a want. That's the beauty of elders. But without the elders, this is why people isolate themselves, because they want to make big time decisions, but these are just lust related decisions.
They want Jerry Jones, huh?
Yeah.
You're not the coach, but you want to feel like the coach.
Yeah.
But you have everything to lose.
Yeah. Ridiculous, bro. Read on.
Go not after thy lust, Salakia. If thou givest thy soul the desires that please her, she will make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies.
Now you look like the fool when you got to go to the pawn shop to negotiate your purchases and take a lesser amount of money than what you paid. You paid your whole check. You dropped income tax on that item. You dropped your income tax on that. You dropped your children's new beds.
Yeah.
You dropped your children's beds on that purse. You dropped some major money.
Insurance money on that.
Some insurance money, some medical, some teeth fixing.
Wow.
You got some dental work that needs to be done.
True.
You got a bad tooth in your mouth, and you done drop your dentist bill, and you got a new purse, but you got pain, and you putting clove oil on the back of your tooth, trying to numb it. That damn Orajel that.
Yeah.
You got an Orajel on your tooth, but you got you a new purse though, with your mouth jacked up.
Yeah.
You can't drink cold items. You can't get no drinks with ice in it. It's too painful. But we watch people do this because it's a less related expense. But the joke is on who? The joke is on you. Go ahead.
She will make thee a laughing stock.
That's why when you expend precious resources on things that depreciate, the joke is on you. Read on.
She will make thee a laughing stock to thy enemies that malign thee.
Malign thee. Go ahead.
Take not pleasure in much good cheer.
And you know what is a major lust related expense is a good time.
Oh yeah.
I want to have a good time. A good time is a major lust related expense. Because you born precious resources for a feeling. That's what we're reading about the prodigal son. That's what we're reading in Luke. You took your whole inheritance from your father. You went into a far country to have a good time. And you blew all these resources on riotous living. All you have is memories. That's all you made. You turned your money into some memories that nobody else can share. Man, what you do with all that money? Shit, man, I had a good time though. Well, what do you have to show for it? Shit, man, I got some stories to tell you. I got some stories. Yeah, but what do you have? What good are those stories gonna do? I got some stories for you. We had a blast. Okay, well, you're back in a bad condition right now.
Can I pull switch on that real quick?
Go on.
Proverbs 14 and verse 13. Proverbs 14 and verse 13.
We made some good memories, man. Proverbs 14 and 13.
Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful,
Read on.
and the end of that mirth.
Because the heart's sorrowful, because the end of mirth, right? What is mirth? 1828. Mirth. Social merriment. High excitement of pleasurable feelings in company.
Yep, man, we had a good time. That's a major lust related expense. We had a good time. You know how many people go broke because they want to have a good time?
Yeah.
And that's all it add up to. Well, go ahead. That's a great point.
Yeah. So read it again.
Come, Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 13. Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful.
So we laugh about, man, we ha 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 ha. You're going home. How you gonna raise these bills, man? How's light gonna get on? How's this car gonna get fixed?
Yeah.
You know the person you with is mad because you blew money that y'all needed for the house to get taken care of.
Blue rent, bill money.
You blew rent and bill money on a good time. But I needed it.
You went on vacation.
I went on a vacay for
But
no
your
reason.
but your transmission ain't working.
Yeah,
But you went on a vacation.
I wanted to feel good. I had to do something.
You gonna go another summer with no AC.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hot summer.
You're gonna do another summer with no air conditioning. But you had a good time.
And put that pressure on the other person.
Right.
Yeah.
Read it again.
Come, Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful,
Uh-huh.
and the end of that mirth is heaviness.
The end of that mirth is what?
Is heaviness.
Hey. This
You know, that's a price that people say that they can pay in exchange for a good time. They say, I can afford it.
Exactly.
It's what they tell themselves. I can afford it. But in the end of that, and on the other side of them jokes, on the other side of them pictures, and the Instagram blowing up,
yeah.
and they're having a good time, on the other side of that is trouble. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yep.
I'm struggling to survive. Go back to Ecclesiastes 18.
Come, Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 32. Read. Take not pleasure in much good cheer.
And that's why he's telling you, don't take pleasure in much good what?
Cheer.
Trying to have a good time. Don't go broke trying to have a good time. Read on.
Neither be tied to the expense.
Because you know what? A good time costs money.
Yeah.
That you can't afford. And a lot of us don't want to live a disciplined financial lifestyle where we can reap the benefits later. We want to have a good time now.
What?
I want to have fun now. You tell brothers all day, brother, save your money up, brother. Put $150 over here, put $200 over here, put $300 over here. Hide the money from yourself. Because if you have it around you, if you have it in your person, if you have it on you, it's gone. Get it out of your own visual. Hide the money from yourself. Because as soon as you know you got it available, it's gone. Because having that good cheer is going to blow your resources. It gets expensive.
I'm not feeling good right now. I just need something for me.
Yeah.
That's the talk.
I need a win. Like the sister said, credit cards too. You know what? That's why you know what? That's why sometimes it's good to leave your credit cards at home. And just use cash. You know what using cash going to do? Either you got it or you don't.
Yeah.
Because you charge it, mean I'll pay it later. You don't have it later. It's already maxed out. Read on.
Be not made a beggar.
It said because eventually you're going to be made a what?
Beggar.
You're not going to be able to afford the lifestyle you want. And you're going to be made a what?
A beggar.
Go ahead.
By banqueting upon borrow.
It says, and you're going to be using other people's what?
Banqueting upon borrowing.
You're going to try to live a lifestyle that you can't even afford, so the people around you are going to have to suffer to supply your need for what you want. You're going to be using other people around you for your lust-related expenses.
Become an economic parasite.
Then you're an economic parasite.
Yeah.
Now the things you want is you're so thirsty now that other people got it. You bumming cigarettes and alcohol. Man, if that's the case, then you shouldn't be smoking or drinking.
Stop.
You shouldn't be smoking no way.
Every day.
Every day, bro. You drinking, but you can't afford to drink. Go ahead and get you some tea bags, boiling water, and make you some tea with some lemons. Because you living a life you can't afford. But a lot of people live a lie. Because I want to feel good. There's a feeling that I want, and I'll blow my resources for that feeling. As long as I can say I had a good time, it adds up to some satisfaction. But he said what?
Be not made a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing, when thou hast nothing in thy purse.
And you don't have nothing in your what?
purse.
You can't afford that, man. So what leaders do is keep you in perspective. That's what leadership does. It keeps your lifestyle in perspective. It gives you an honest assessment of the do's and don'ts. It gives you the leaders give you an honest assessment of the decisions that you should be making with your resources. But a lot of us don't counsel. We don't say nothing because we don't want restrictions.
All you're going to say is no. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say.
I already knew what you were gonna tell me. Don't get it, so I got the tarantula.
Yeah.
I got the cage, and I got bought a bag of grasshoppers.
There you go.
And then soon you're gonna be looking for roaches to put in there because you're gonna run out of grasshoppers. You can't afford them. Try to feed
your house real quick.
Try to feed the tarantula some roaches that you got in your house. Because you can't. You can't find it. That's something. They don't want roaches, man. Oh man. I'm sorry, man.
That's
wild.
They active at nighttime. My AMG.
Oh man.
That's wild.
Yeah. Oh man. I be like, brother, you got some roaches that I can borrow from your house? I'm sorry, man.
I gotta save some money.
I gotta save some money up. I need to get a new bag of crickets, man. Oh man, I gotta start with the pet store. Oh man. Oh man. But he said, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, read that. I'm sorry.
Be not a beggar by banqueting upon borrowing, when thou hast nothing in thy purse.
Yeah, because then you're gonna be dependent on other people to supply you for what you want, for what you need. Read.
For thou shalt lie in wait for thy own life.
Now you wait on other people to keep you living.
Oh man, it's tough.
Now other people got to supply you with what you need to survive, because you exploited your own resources and blew your own resources on your riotous living. Now other people got to sustain you. Other people got to keep you going. They got to feed and house you and give you drink. That's what happens. But we're reading this in the New Testament. Go back to Luke. Watch.
Remember to read the last part?
Yeah, read that last part.
And be talked on.
And then also when people got to keep you living, they're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about how bad decisions you make. How bad the decisions you make. How unwise you are with finances. How foolish you are with your resources. Because they got to sustain you now.
You want to fight them, but you're not justified, bro.
You want to argue. But
what about you? Like, what about me, bro? Nothing to do with that conversation has nothing to do with this. What you got going on?
Yeah, but they want you to supply them gas, but they blew their gas on their fund.
Yeah.
But now you got to get them gas money. If you don't, you're the bad guy.
Yeah. You're not a brother.
You're not a brother. I'm not a brother because I didn't give you $5 gas because you blew your resources in the first week of you getting paid, first 3 days. But I'm not a brother now.
It's a real thing, bro.
It's real, bro.
I'm glad classes like this are important because people associate the sting strictly with the relationship or their vehicle situation. But listen, the Most High says, the Scripture says, the Lord maketh poor.
Yep.
And He maketh rich. Based off of, are you following counsel or not?
Yep.
Does it got to be your way or not?
But it's needed because we don't understand the purpose of the governance. We don't understand the purpose of the guidance. We don't respect the authority figures the Most High put around us. We look at the authority figures, brothers and sisters, as like trouble,
Yeah.
like problematic,
Yeah.
a burden. Why you got to be over? Why you got to be telling me what to do? You don't understand that the leadership keeps you away from you.
That's really what it's
They
about.
keep you from your own devices. If you run from that, you're in trouble. Then what's going to keep you from being impulsive?
Nothing.
Nothing. Now other people gotta help you survive and keep you functioning.
Sure.
Read.
Con,
Luke.
Luke chapter 14,
15.
15 verse 14.
Read verse 12 one more time.
Con, verse 12. And the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me.
Why do people say that? We can tell brothers, hey brother, it'll be good. It'll be a good idea if you take 300. Go ahead and put it in a money order. Put your name on the money
It's
order.
your name.
Because it's your money. Nobody can spend it. Go take this 300 and put this money. Go get a money order from the post office and go put it in your name. Post office money orders don't really expire, and they always got a paper receipt. So if you lose it, you can always get your money back.
Yeah.
Put your name on it, brother, and go put it away. But you know what we do? Do we want to do that?
No.
Go to Proverbs chapter 17, verse
I
16.
like that counsel.
What do we want to do?
I got a feeling that.
Well, you're already there. What do we want to do with the resource? You tell a brother, hey, brother, this is the wisest thing you can do with your resources. that ain't what I want nobody to tell me what to do. I earn this. I work for this. It's for me.
You ain't the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me. Proverbs chapter 17, verse 16.
Proverbs chapter 17, verse 16. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool?
It says, why is there a certain price? Why is there money in the hand of a fool? Because when you tell somebody what to do with their money, they don't have, and you could have the best idea for them or the best benefits set up for them. You can have the best interest at heart. But what they'll tell you when they have no other reason, no excuses, when they know they're bad with money, they'll say what? I got to feel it in what? We have brothers that actually tell us this. I got to feel it in my what?
My hand.
I got to feel it in my
I
hands.
got you. You got it?
Yeah, they
Please.
just, you can tell them what to do with it, and you can tell them that this is wisdom if you do this. They'll tell you, no, brother, it's my money. I gotta feel it in my hands. Just for that, that is the biggest justification, brother. That's the best. That's the best reason you can come up with. Everybody know you bad with money. Everybody knows it. It's causing a conflict in your household. People don't trust you with money. But in your mind, I just have to do what? I got to feel it in my hands.
I know it's there.
I got to know it's there. I got to feel it, it's on me. Or they'll say, I feel like a man.
Yeah.
You know, I got to take care of business. I got business to take care of. I can't let you tell me what to do because I got business. I got personal business to handle.
Personal business to handle.
I got personal business to handle. This is why the Most High said what? Read that again.
Proverbs 17 and 16. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool
Go ahead.
to get wisdom?
He said, you're not going to do nothing good with it. Why are you holding on to it when you know you're not going to do anything wise with the finances, with the resources? All you're going to do is blow it. So why is it in your hand? Because a lot of us tell ourselves lies. I just got to feel it. I got to have it accessible just in case I need something. I got to take care of some business.
I may want to do something. I may want to do this with it.
Oh, I don't feel like a man if I got somebody else telling me what to do with my money.
Yeah.
All these are just excuses. You're not going to do anything wise with those finances. So the Most High said, why is it even in your hand? Because we tell ourselves why we want it. We justify why we're going to use what we're going to use it on, and we don't want to listen to sound advice. That's a problem. Go back to Luke 15.
Luke chapter 15. Luke chapter 15 and verse 12. And
Right, I pick up in verse 15,
You want me
14.
to be happy, bro?
verse 14. It says, and when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want.
He said, and he began to be in what?
In want.
Read on.
And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country.
What does it mean when he said he went and joined himself with a citizen of that country? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 29, verse 24. What does that mean when somebody got to join himself with a citizen of that country? Why is that son had to go live like that? Had to resort to that type of living? What does that mean? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 29, verse 24. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 29, verse 24. For it is a miserable life.
It says, because the reason why this prodigal son had to go join himself with a citizen of that country, that faraway country that he went, he didn't even know these people. Because his life was beginning to be what?
For it is a miserable life.
He said, what's a miserable life? Read.
To go from house to house.
When you got to go where?
House
From
to
house
wow.
to house.
When you might as well say it's a miserable life when you got to go couch to couch. Because now through your illicit spending, and lust-related expenses, you can't afford to live. So now you become dependent upon somebody else to keep you sustained. And he said that's a miserable what?
For it is a miserable life to go from house to house. But where thou art a stranger.
It says, for where thou art a what?
A stranger.
Yeah, you a stranger. They don't know you. You don't know them. Read on.
But where thou art a stranger, thou darest not open thy mouth.
You bet not what?
Open thy mouth.
You better not open your mouth when you living at you standing at somebody else's courtesy. When somebody got you laying on somebody else's couch, you better keep your opinions to yourself.
What the? You gonna find out.
Yeah. You know what?
My opinion.
I think we need to get a better internet.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you on the couch now. But you talking about we need better. We need better food in here. Because I don't really eat chicken like that.
Yeah.
I eat fish.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're a fish eater. Oh, you got opinions. You want choices. You don't get choices when you're sleeping on somebody's couch. And you're dependent upon other people for survival. You take what you get. But who put yourself in that position? Your lifestyle put yourself in that position where you don't have an opinion. And you got to shut your mouth.
I want how people treat me.
Yeah. But you know what? You're now dependent on other people for survival. Because you blew what the Most High had put in front of you as a viable resource. You didn't want wisdom. You didn't want the fear of the Lord. It would have preserved you. You wanted to do you. Now you're doing you in somebody else's house, listening to the music they want to listen to, the television show they want to watch. And if they want the light on, you better not cut it off. Because you know what? Or if they want it off, you better not cut it on. Because you don't pay the bills. And he said that's not a real good life. It's a miserable life when you got to go house to house. And this is what we read in Luke. This is what Christ is explaining. We're not explaining this. Christ is explaining this life. This life is set up for those who don't want the fear of the Lord. There's a lifestyle set up for you. And that lifestyle is going to be miserable because you don't value the fear of the Lord. You don't want to take that with you. You want to do what you want to do. Well, there's a repercussion of that. You want to live how you want to live. Well, there's a repercussion of that. There's a consequence to that. You don't want to follow? No problem. You don't got to follow nobody. You don't got to listen. But there will be a consequence to that. You don't got to do what you're told? No problem. There's a consequence to that. And you're going to find out how miserable life gets when you don't want to take the fear of the Lord with you. Read on.
For where thou art a stranger, thou darest not open thy mouth.
You bet not. You bet not open your mouth. When I say close the door, close the door. If I said, you know what, if you in after 10, I'm locking the door. You're getting locked out. You might as well go somewhere else. My house shut down at 10 o'clock. My kitchen closed at 6 p.m. Ain't no food being served after 6. The kitchen is closed. What you gonna do? You know what you're gonna do? Either you're gonna buy by those rules, or you're gonna go to another house.
And
you're gonna go surfing. Then begins the couch surfing. The Most High got a lifestyle set up for everybody that don't want to follow his wisdom. There's a lifestyle coming. You're not gonna like it though. That's the problem. You don't have to follow, but you will live a lifestyle that you don't like. Go back to Luke 15.
Luke chapter 15 and verse 15. It says, and he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country.
Damn. A citizen of that country. Read.
And he sent him into his fields to feed swine.
And you better feed them pigs, bro.
You got something to do. You got to
do something. You ain't not living free in this household. You're not just using these resources for nothing. You better be cutting grass. You better be feeding the dogs. We just had a client that said, yeah, I kicked my sister out because she was living rent-free for 2 years. And I told her to feed the dogs, and she said, I don't feed the dogs.
Go.
So the brother said, you got to get out. You and your husband. You and your husband living rent. You and your husband been living rent-free for 2 years.
Stupid.
But when your brother told you, you got to feed these dogs, she said, I don't feed dogs. She said, well, you and your husband get out. It's a true story. Because you know what you're going to do? You're going to do base level jobs if you want to survive. Because that's what you resorted to. That's real stuff. You're going to do jobs and things that are very uncomfortable to you. Because you're not in control. Read on. That's what happens when you're now, instead of independent, you're now dependent. Read.
Verse 16. And he would fain.
Yep. And he would fain, go ahead.
Have filled his belly with the husks that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him.
And why didn't nobody give to him? Get the definition of a rake. R-A-K-E. Why wouldn't no man give to him in this position? Get the 1828 definition in the Webster's 1828.
Wow.
The definition of rake.
Wow.
Rake.
What is a rake?
It says to collect.
Mm-mm.
Which one?
Read. You'll know which one it is when you read it.
Loose, disorderly.
It says nobody gave to this man. When you was because you blew your resources, and now you couch surfing and you're living at other people's houses and you're begging for subsistence. And he says nobody gave to this man. Why didn't nobody give to this young man? Because he was at this time what the definition of a rake is he became, which is what?
A loose, disorderly, vicious man. A man addicted to lewdness.
It says a man addicted to what?
Lewdness.
Because you were addicted to what?
Lewdness.
You didn't want the fear of the Lord. You're an addict to your behavior. You want what you want and nobody can tell you different. No problem. There's a lifestyle set up for those people that want to follow their own impulses. There is a lifestyle set up for you. It's already set up for you. And when somebody don't want to give you a handout, because they're going to look at you like a rake. A loose what?
A loose, disorderly, vicious man. A man addicted to lewdness and other scandalous vices.
He said, because you know what? Why would I give you something and all you're going to do is use it on what?
Scandalous vices.
That's why people don't give certain people money. That's why people don't hand bums money that got alcohol in their hand, or got cigarettes in their hand, or got weed in their hand. Because why am I about to give my resources so that you can go use it on your scandalous vices? So you can go smoke my money up? So you can drink my money up? You got vices inside of you that you haven't fixed. Ain't nobody finna fund your scandalous vices. Nobody's going to fund that lifestyle. All this is set up for somebody that doesn't take the fear of the Lord with them. They don't have the fear of the Lord in their life. You got a lifestyle coming. And that lifestyle is going to be very uncomfortable. Especially when you can't get a handout. You can't even get a handout.
Everybody in that neighborhood says, don't get that dude, bro.
Yeah, you're there like, just like that. Everybody turn their back on me? Yes. Everybody will turn their back on you. You're going to know what it feels like. Yeah, everybody leave me hanging? Yes. Everybody's going to leave me hanging.
Don't deal with that dude.
Everybody going to talk behind my back? Yep. Everybody going to talk behind your back. Why? Because I don't possess the fear of the Lord. There's a repercussion. Back to Luke 15.
Luke chapter 15 and verse 17. And when he came to himself.
No, stop. Read verse 16 one more time.
Verse 16. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husks that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him.
And nobody gave unto him. Nobody's going to feed your lust habits. Ain't nobody going to do it. Nobody's going to feed your impulsive nature. Nobody's going to do it. Nobody's going to feed your vices. Ain't nobody going to do it. The Most High got it set up like this. It's already established. Where we started at, Jeremiah 2 and 19.
God. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 19 reads, Thine own wickedness shall correct thee.
He said, thy what?
Own wickedness shall correct thee.
Just like we started in the class. He says, thine own wickedness shall correct thee. What does that mean? I like what Matthew Henry say about that. What does that mean when he said, thine own wickedness shall correct thee? Read this right here. It says, not only destroy, read that right there.
God. It says, not only destroy and ruin thee hereafter.
It says, not only destroy you in the future. So when you don't carry the fear of the Lord with you, nothing good is coming to you in the future. Read on.
But correct and reprove thee now.
It says, and also, you're going to be punished when?
Now.
Now.
Wow.
So it means now and later,
Wow,
life will
both.
be difficult. Both. Because you don't maintain the fear of the Lord, life will get difficult now, and life is going to get difficult later. What else? Read on.
They will certainly bring trouble upon thee,
Go ahead.
and punishment will so inevitably follow the sin, that the sin shall itself
It says, this is why the Most High, I said this in the beginning of the class. If you hear long enough, you hear the reason why the Most High will punish a person by their own wickedness. Why does the Most High say, thine own wickedness shall correct thee? What is the purpose? Out of all the weapons the Most High could use to punish you, why does the Most High use your sin, your wickedness to punish you? Yes, sir.
To know that it was from the Most High.
Let's find out.
and punishment will so inevitably follow the sin, that the sin shall itself be said to punish thee.
It says, so that the sin itself shall be said what?
To punish thee.
What else?
Nay, the punishment in its kind and circumstances shall so directly answer to the sin.
Because the way the Most High set it up is that the punishment answers to the what?
The sin.
So the punishment is equal to the sin.
Mm.
Why does the Most High make the punishment equal and evident to the sin? Why does the punishment speak to the sin? Why do they go together? Why does the particular punishment the Most High uses, why does he use that particular punishment for that particular sin? What is the purpose of using that punishment and putting that together with that sin? What's the purpose of that? Read.
That thou mayest read the sin
So that you could read the sin and understand what?
in the punishment.
You could read the sin in the punishment.
Wow.
You could see the person's problem by the punishment. You know exactly where you went wrong at. This is why the Most High answers the punishment to the sin. So you know where you went wrong at. So when you wanted to be independent and you wouldn't listen to any instruction, and now you're being dependent upon people for survival and life sucks. Why would the Most High do that? Because the sin answers to the punishment. You wanted independence. And now because the sucking condition, you should know that because I'm so dependent upon other people, my sin and my mistake was I wanted to be by myself. And now I can't be by myself. I'm leaning on other people to sustain me. That should have let you know that your mistake of why you're so dependent upon other people was because you wanted to be independent. Now you're dependent. You see how the Most High puts the sin with the punishment?
It's like a plug in a outlet.
socket. Yeah, he put it together so you can see where you go wrong at. He puts the punishment with the sin. He pairs them together so you could read it. Or if I'm in a situation where the Most High paired me up and I didn't want to be paired up. I wanted to be free. But now I got a probation officer. Now I got to report. Now I
There's
got
accountability either
now,
way.
now I got to do community service.
Huh? I want to be accountable to that person I was with. So I'm gonna be accountable to somebody whose job they get paid.
Now I'm accountable to the state.
Huh? There's still accountability.
You still got to be accountable. You still got to report, but I don't want to report to the person the Most High paired me up with. But the Most High making me report now to somebody I don't even know. Stranger. Why? Because when you didn't want to be in order on this side, the Most High let you know that this punishment is because you didn't want to be in order. Now you got to be in order to a judge. Now you got to be in order to probation officers. Most High do the same thing with health. When you want to eat what you want to eat, and then now you're on meds for the rest of your life. What does that mean? Why am I on meds? What was my issue? Because I wanted liberty and freedom in my diet. I didn't want restrictions on my diet. I didn't want control in my diet. Now I have to eat
by force.
Now I have to eat a specific diet. Now I have to. Because I didn't want the discipline before. Now I'm forced to live by a regimen. I gotta count calories. I gotta count carbs. I gotta count protein. I gotta look at protein intake.
Everything's critical.
Everything is itemized. I have an itemized list that I gotta follow to live.
Yeah.
Why? Because you didn't care about what you put in your body before. Now the Most High makes you care about everything you put in your body. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Great. That's a great point. Coming from a young man. You might as well do all the things that you really didn't want to do and live that disciplined lifestyle. The Most High said he's like a father. He's like a shepherd. We run from the discipline, but the discipline was to keep us safe and survive and give us a good life.
Yeah.
We want to veer away from the discipline and still end up in a bad situation where we still have to be disciplined.
Either way.
Either way.
That's the irony of it.
That's the irony of it.
Some people say the Most High has a good sense of humor. He really, we're the butt of the joke.
Yep.
Because the scripture says in Proverbs 1, it says, hey, listen, I reached my hand out all day, and no one wanted to address his hand. No one wanted to sit here and get the Most High take his initial help. He said, I will laugh when your fear cometh.
Yep. Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. There's a lifestyle, brother, that's coming. But it comes to those that don't walk with the fear of the Lord. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes 7 and 12.
Ecclesiastes
I want you to get this point
chapter
right
7 and verse 12. It says, for wisdom is a defense.
It says, for wisdom is a what?
Is a defense.
Yeah, wisdom keeps you safe, man. It's a defense. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of having the fear of the Lord. It defends you in a time of trouble. What you think the elders are for? What you think counsel is for? What do you think following instruction is for? What do you think the prodding and the goading is for?
Defense.
It's a defense, man. Just keep your life straight. But people think what?
It's too much, man. That's
Read on.
overboard. You guys are extreme. You guys just want to be rulers of my life.
Yep. But people think what?
For wisdom is a defense.
Read.
And money is a defense.
But they focus more on the fact that the scriptures say money is a defense. Yeah. They ignore the fact that the scripture says wisdom is the defense. They only know this scripture because they think money is the defense. Yeah. So their pursuit is what? Money. They don't realize that, okay, money, an inheritance, wisdom is good with an inheritance. Yeah. Money by itself is okay. It's a defense. But it's much better when you got wisdom. Yeah. Wisdom is a defense primarily. He said, and money's a defense, but we lean more towards one than the other. Yeah. We pay more homage, and we'll go pursue one over the other. But read on.
But the excellency of knowledge is
but if you really want to be right, he said that the excellency of knowledge, the excellency of instruction is what?
is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
It said, but wisdom is better than money. Money can't give you life. It's only a defense. It can only get you out of trouble, but it can't elevate your life. The fear of the Lord gives you life. One is limited. The other one is not. People pursue money thinking money's going to give them life. It don't. Because money's only good with wisdom. You don't pair those together, money's no good. You're going to blow them resources. That's a Cain mind.
Yeah.
That's why I want to get this point right here in Philo 134. Now, read this for me real quick. It's Philo 134. Read this 21. But we participate in the indignation.
But we participate in indignation against that lover of himself.
It says Cain was a what?
Lover of himself.
Because all Cain cared about was gain, profit, increase. He was a lover of himself. That's a Cain-minded person. They don't care about. That's why the prodigal son went left field. He blew his resources on riotous living. Jump down to line 22.
It is worthwhile to consider the wickedness into which a man also flies from the face of God is driven.
It said just like the prodigal son went into a far country and blew his resources on riotous living. That's a person that I go far away because I want to really fly away from who?
The face of God.
That's a Cain mind. He's going to explain. Read on.
It says it is called a tempest, the lawgiver showing by this expression that he who gives way to inconsiderate impulses.
It says he that gives way to inconsiderate impulses. Read on.
Without any stability or firmness exposes himself to surf and violent tossing.
It says they expose themselves to what?
Surf and violent tossing.
Go ahead.
Like those of the sea when it is agitated by the winter season by contrary winds. Wow. It has never ever a single glimpse of calm or tranquility.
So they never have what?
Calm or tranquility.
So somebody that exploits their resources, that tries to fly away from the Most High and live my life because I want to evade instruction. I want to evade counsel. I don't want to listen to nobody. I want to do me because I have a Cain mind.
Yeah.
And that Cain mind is just about me having pleasure. That Cain mind comes with a consequence. Your lifestyle will always be uncertain. Your lifestyle will always be turbulent.
Yeah.
He said tossed to and fro like winds, right?
Yeah.
Like a boat in the sea. Things will always be up and down. There will never be any tranquility. I'll never have peace of mind because I chose a particular mind frame. The mind frame I chose was wrong. There's a result and a repercussion for having the wrong pursuits. And what I have in return as a reward is an unstable life and an unstable situation. My survival is always at stake. I don't know what's going to happen. This is why the Most High puts authority around us. Keep us out of trouble. Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 2.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 2.
Yep. Read on down to 4.
I counsel thee to keep the king's
It says,
commandments.
I'm counseling you to keep what? A king is what? What is a king? A ruler, authority figure. That's why it says, I'm counseling you to keep the king's what?
Commandments.
I'm telling you to follow the authority figures. Follow the ones the Most High put in front of you. We understand why they're there. He said, I'm counseling you to keep the king's what?
Commandments.
Read on.
And that in regard of the oath of the Most High,
Go ahead.
be not hasty to go out of his sight.
And where do we want to go though?
Out of his sight.
Where do we want to go?
Out of his sight.
You want to go off the grid and off the map because you have an impulse and you have a way of living that you want that you can't survive, you can't afford, and you don't want to be told what to do with it. You don't want to be told how to live. You don't want instruction to come from the authority. You want freedom. You want liberty. That pursuit for liberty is troublesome. It's dangerous. Always want to be by myself because I don't want somebody to tell me nothing. I work better alone. That's because you don't want nobody controlling you. I'm always secluded, isolated, because you really have a hate for authority. Read.
Be not hasty to go out of his sight.
Read.
Stand not in an evil thing.
Right? But the evil thing is what? I really want to do me. Go ahead.
For he doeth whatsoever pleaseth him.
Yeah, because you know what? I want to do what pleases me. But you know what? The king's not having that. Read on.
Where the word of a king is,
He says, where the word or the instruction of a king is, read on.
there is power.
There's what?
There is power.
The Most High put power behind that authority. So it's best you follow instruction. A lot of us we fail because we don't want the wisdom and the instruction that come from the Most High. By way of elders, leaders, tutors, governors, guides, captains, officers, husbands, elder sisters, elder brothers. Read on.
And who may say unto him, what doest thou?
And are you going to tell the authority, why are you talking to me like this? Why are you doing this? Read on.
Whoso keepeth the commandment,
It says, whoso keepeth the commandment, go ahead.
shall feel no evil thing.
It says, but if you keep the commandments, you shall feel no what?
Evil thing.
Where is the safety in life at? Where's the benefit of life coming from?
Obedience.
Obedience, man. Allowing people to dictate my whereabouts and my goings so that I don't give myself to my own impulse. So I don't ruin myself. Because everybody that wants to be independent is going to ruin themselves. Everybody that evades eyes of the Most High, they flee from authority, they are going to ruin themselves. Everybody that don't want to report or receive counsel, they're going to ruin themselves. Read on.
Whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
You know what? You know what the elders will give you that you don't have naturally? What will counsel give you? Read.
A wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
What do you get from your elders?
Time.
You get the time to make a move or to make a decision. It says what the elders provide you with is time and what?
And judgment.
The right way to do something. The timing is right.
Correct.
You may have an impulse, you may have an idea, you may have a pursuit, but it doesn't mean it's the right time. We tell brothers, hey brother, you just got here. Why don't you study first? You're trying to get a rib. Why don't you study first? Why don't you get a love for the Most High in Christ?
So you have something to invest.
Why don't you lock into the brotherhood first?
Yeah.
Why don't you become a brother first? Why are you trying to make this rib thing happen so quickly? This is not the time. But you know what? When somebody wants their impulses, you can't tell them the time.
That's true.
Because they don't want that coming. They don't want that counsel. But what your elders have to give you is two things that you'll never get on your own. It's time and what?
And judgment.
Those two things you'll never get by yourself. That only comes by the elders. You don't get that by yourself. Because your impulse will always dictate your time. And it'll always dictate your judgment. It'll control and rule your thought process of when you think you want something and by the time you think you should have it. And it'll control your urges. He said, but wisdom, which comes from the authority, gives you time and judgment. Read on.
Verse 6. Because to every purpose.
It says, because to every purpose, what?
There is time and judgment.
It says everything has a what?
Time and judgment.
And people that evade authority, that don't have the fear of the Lord, they misappropriate time.
Yeah.
And they misappropriate decisions. They make bad decisions. And they're bad, and it's coupled with bad timing all the time. This is the repercussion to not keeping the fear of the Lord. This is the repercussion for not following authority. This is the repercussion to not getting counsel. You always misappropriate time and judgment. Your judgment is always off. You make piss poor decisions, and you always make decisions based off bad timing. Read on.
Therefore, the misery of man.
And then what happens when your timing is bad and your timing's off?
The
Therefore,
misery.
the misery.
And what happens when you make bad decisions?
Misery.
Yeah. So then what's coming to you?
Misery.
Yeah, there's a lifestyle that's coming. Just like it said, there's a miserable life to go house to house. Well, there's some more misery coming. Because you always make piss poor decisions, and your decisions always have bad timing associated with it.
And don't blame it on other people, because when the misery comes, the fingers point.
Yep.
It's first reaction.
Scapegoats. There's a lifestyle coming. All the decisions are bad. Timing is bad. Pursuits are bad. Sacrifices are bad. Bad timing, bro. You only get that. You only get good timing and good judgment from the elders. He said, because what else is coming?
Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him.
That's why people got miserable lives. Therefore, is the root of your problems. That's why the Most High said, "Thine own wickedness shall what? Correct thee." Because the Most High is showing you the misery comes from the fact that you don't want His fear. You lack the fear of the Lord. You lack a desire for His wisdom. You don't want His instruction. So therefore, your life has to be miserable so that you can identify that you made your life miserable. As a repercussion to not wanting to follow instruction. Bad timing. We got to get an example of that bad timing.
I'm not lucky.
It's not luck. They ain't got nothing to do with
a lot of bad luck out.
Yeah, that's what we'll say. We'll say it's luck. It ain't got nothing to do with luck. One more example of bad timing. Read this right here. 85.
85.
And 86. Read this.
These are the rewards of unseemly freedom of speech.
Okay. I want you to read this. I want you to get 2nd Ezra chapter 14. 2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 34. Read that. I want you to get 2nd Ezra. Get 2nd Ezra. I want you to break that down. 2nd Ezra 58, 85 and 86.
Count. These are the rewards of unseemly freedom of speech.
So when somebody is bold and somebody wants freedom, like we read about the prodigal son, there's a reward to wanting freedom. What's the reward of wanting freedom? Go ahead.
Not of that which is accounted such by right thinking judges.
It says, you know what happens? As a reward of wanting freedom of speech, you want freedom so bad, you always make bad decisions with your freedom. But you want your freedom so bad, but your freedom comes with bad decision making. Read on.
But of that license which is full of folly.
It says, but your life gonna be full of what?
Folly.
Your life gonna be full of folly. What else?
And insanity of mind.
And you're not gonna think straight. You're not gonna have a sound mind. You're gonna make crazy ass decisions. That's the result of wanting freedom. You can have your freedom, but you're not gonna have a sound mind. Your life gonna be full of folly. Read on.
And of incurable distemper.
And you're gonna have an incurable what?
Distemper.
A trouble or sickness of the mind or body.
You can't get rid of.
That you can't get rid of.
What we call in the world scars.
Yep. Baggage.
Yeah.
But this is the price of free. This is the price of liberty and freedom. You got a bunch of bad time, a bunch of scars, a bunch of wounds,
bad stories,
bad stories, and your life is full of folly. Read on.
It says, "What do you mean? Does anyone, when he see this storm at its height?"
It said, "What do you mean? Explain. Who in their right mind would see a turbulent storm on the horizon? Who would see dark clouds full of lightning and thunder? Hurricane-style storms coming." Go ahead.
"And a violent gale opposing him, and a hurricane raging tempestuously, and the sea full of vast waves."
And when the waves are 100 feet high. Go ahead.
"When he ought to anchor his ship."
It said when you ought to anchor your ship because you see things are unstable.
I ought to have done the responsible, rational, logical, biblical, spiritual, boring, routine-oriented thing.
I should have stayed home.
See the boring, routine, that anchor is heavy. It's not light, it's heavy. I'm supposed to sit here and work and put the work in to stabilize my ship.
Yep.
I didn't want to put the work in necessary. I don't want to put the work in to keep this marriage. I want to put the work in to keep these relationships tight.
I see things getting unstable,
Yeah.
and that's the time that I should drop my anchor.
I don't want to do the work though, because that stability takes work. Anchors are heavy. They're heavy. They're not light. I'm gonna nobody help me do this. You got counselors. They tell you gotta do the work. They got their own anchors they gotta do.
Yep.
Their job is to give you instruction, not babysit you, not do the work for you, because you're grown. You're past 18. You're grown.
Yep.
But you want everybody to do the work for you, and then when they do the work for you, then you spit in their face. So now you're grown. You do the work. You put that anchor outside that ship, because the storm's coming, and just because you can't, just because you near side or far side, which one is it?
You're nearsighted means you can't see far.
Okay, because
Farsighted means you can't see near.
so I'm nearsighted. I can't see what's going on. Everybody's tripping. Everybody's talking crazy. They're just trying to scare me. Okay, cool. Don't put the anchor and see what happens.
Well, that's what he said. You when you should put the anchor down, I should lock myself down and lock my mind down.
I don't want to hear it.
Read on.
It says, does anyone? I say at such a moment.
At the worst possible time when my relationships are unstable, my money's unstable, my timing is bad, I do what?
Weigh, anchor, and put to sea.
I lift the anchor up, and do you wait to go to sea when the waves are at 100 feet high?
That was not the time.
That's not the time, bro.
That's not the time.
When you see a storm or hurricane on the horizon, is that the time you lift your anchor up and say, let's go? Let's go to ship. Now it's time to take this trip. Read on.
What pilot or what captain of a ship was ever so drunk and
He
intoxicated?
said this person must be what?
drunk.
Ever so drunk.
and
You must be
intoxicated.
drunk. Or you must be intoxicated. For you to put yourself in a position where things are already bad and you decide to still be free. And still pursue freedom.
Listen, the word folly means imbecility of mind. To be an imbecile. This is not smart.
It's not smart to want freedom at a time that I should be locked down.
Yeah.
But that's the time that this is how a person that doesn't want the fear of the Lord, this is how they operate. They set sail at the worst time. They go for freedom and enterprise at the worst time. That's inconvenient. He said, what captain or what ship will do what?
Was ever so drunk and intoxicated.
He said, man, you got to be a drunk captain to want to be free at a time that you should be locking yourself down with discipline.
This is not the time.
This is not the time. To want to party, get loose, get free, to be drinking on a regular basis, riotous living, this is not the time.
It's not the time to be irrational.
Read on.
It says, as while all the dangers which I have just enumerated were threatening him, to be willing to set sail,
To be willing to set sail, go ahead.
lest if his vessel become waterlogged,
It said ultimately what's going to happen is the vessel going to be waterlogged, meaning it's going to get taking too much water in. Read on.
by the sea breaking over it from above, and it might be swallowed
You're
up.
going to be overwhelmed beyond your foolish idea of invincibility.
You're going to be in a situation you can't control.
Yeah.
And you can't. Your ship is about to capsize. It's about to be swallowed up. Your vessel about to be swallowed up. Read.
with all its crew.
With all the crew, people got to suffer with you. Read on.
For if he had been inclined to meet with a voyage free from danger,
It says, but if, meaning I had a choice, I could have went on a journey at the right time,
Yeah.
free from what?
from danger,
From danger. Read on.
it was in his power to wait for calm weather and a smooth and favorable breeze.
But why didn't I wait? And why was my timing bad? Because good timing and good judgment comes from who? The elders. That's why everybody makes piss poor, damn near drunk decisions. Because I didn't want to follow the elders. I no longer wanted tutors, and governors. This is what we're reading about in the prodigal son. Finish that in Luke 15. Let that go.
Luke chapter 15 and verse 17. And when he came to himself, he said,
Now, what does that mean when you come to yourself? Now, yeah, you got that? 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 34.
2nd Ezra 14, verse 34. Therefore, if so be that ye will subdue your own understanding. You're supposed to subdue. The word subdue is a military word. It means to attack. It means to surround. It means to sit here and strategically, tactically surmount and conquer. If you subdue or conquer
put in submission.
If you put in submission your own, not another man's. Israel wants to be tactical against somebody else's understanding.
Right.
You got 1,000 excuses why your way is correct when it comes to somebody else's wisdom. But the Bible says you're supposed to tactically, day for day, moment for moment, minute for minute, scripture for scripture, wisdom for wisdom, logic for logic, break down your own understanding. The Bible said, lean not to thy own understanding. Contrary, subdue or conquer your own understanding, or make your own understanding submit. Put it in a position of submission. Submit your conscience. Read.
Right.
Okay. It says, and reform your hearts.
Key point. Not form your heart, because it wants to do something new.
Yeah.
Reform means reset, to renew, start over. Reform, reformat, restructure your thinking. Restructure your heart. Restructure your mind. Rethink your decision making.
Yep. And turn that stony heart to what? Fleshly.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Reform. So I'm supposed to break down my hard heart.
When I didn't want to listen before, I put myself in a position where I listen now.
I want to reform it.
When I wanted to escape and run from authority, I put myself in a position now where I put myself under authority.
You know, I want to reform myself. Obviously, this form I was in was not the final form. It worked.
It didn't work.
Nothing worked. Let me change it. And let me change form. People always want to rebrand.
Yeah.
I want to rebrand. I want to do over. Well, then do a do over with your heart. Reform your heart. Reform your decision making. Reform your impulses. Reform how you react to counsel and criticism. Read.
Ye shall be kept alive.
Now, I guess the key point is you're on this journey. You're on this ship. You're in this storm. Everybody don't come back from sea, bro. A lot of people get lost at sea.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking about scars that come back. We talk about
War stories.
War stories. We talk about spirits that be outside waiting for you to break that fence, waiting to take you as a sheep. We talk about Satan himself roaming to and fro as a lion, seeking whom he may devour. Listen, bro, it's not guaranteed people can come back from their father. They come back unscathed. People come back, but not the same.
And if not, your own wickedness shall what?
Correct.
Your own wickedness shall correct you. You'll know why you're in this situation. It'll be evidently clear why you're in the situation that you're in. Because the Most High will use your own mistakes as the weapon of choice to punish you. So that you can identify, this was my error. Read.
We don't?
He said, I'll be kept alive. Go ahead.
And after death, ye shall obtain mercy.
And the Most High will give me mercy even after this life. The Most High's mercy goes beyond this life. But it's all about what I do now.
He started off this way.
It's about my reformation right now. It's about my return right now.
You're right. 100%.
That's why we read earlier about how the Most High, he said there's rejoicing in heaven when one sinner does what? Repents. Go back and finish that in Luke.
Luke chapter 15, verse 17. And when he came to himself, he said, how many hired servants of my father's have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger?
Man, bro.
Man, it's tough.
Go ahead.
I will arise and go to my father.
And this is somebody that's subduing their own understanding. My first mind was to escape from my father, to go to a far country so that I could be independent and free. That decision didn't work. I ended up living with some citizen. I ended up couch surfing. I ended up being in an uncomfortable situation with no control over my food and diet and my living. So to subdue that understanding is, let me return from what I was running from. Let me go back to my father. Read on.
And will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven.
This is somebody who is repenting. This is somebody who is reforming their heart. I made a mistake. I'm making mistakes.
He came back to himself.
He came back to himself. Read on.
And before thee, and I am no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired servants.
Just make me a servant.
Now I want to serve.
Just put. He could have served the beginning. He didn't want to serve before. He wanted freedom. Freedom come with a cost. It come with a cost of instability and unstableness, insanity of mind. Read on.
And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and I am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry.
Read verse 7.
Verse 7?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 7. I say unto you that likewise joy shall be in heaven over one sinner that repenteth, more than over 99 just persons which need no repentance.
Who does the Most High rejoice over?
One sinner that repenteth.
So the Most High loves the comeback story. He loves the ones that may have made a mistake, got their life together, made reformations, and they came back to Him. The Most High wants you to come back to Him. Your life will be unstable until you do, and very miserable until you do. But the Most High loves it more when the sinner repents. That's the Most High's joy. That's the angel's joy. Back to 25.
Verse 25. It says, Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing.
Man, partying, having a good time. Read.
And he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said unto him, Thy brother is come, and thy father hath killed the fatted calf, because he hath received him safe and sound. And he was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his father out and entreated him.
He said, man, I'm not going in there. I'm not celebrating. You know why? Because people are jealous. Envy.
Yep.
Envy eats people up. Read.
Verse 29. And he answering said to his father, Lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy commandment, and yet thou never gavest me a kid.
You never killed a fatted calf for me. Read.
That I may make merry with my friends. But as soon as this thy son was come, which have devoured thy living with harlots.
He said, man, this man been sleeping with who?
Harlots.
Go ahead.
Thou hast killed for him the fatted calf.
He was full of mistakes. Read on.
And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine.
He said, listen, everything I own, you have access to. That means you could have killed the fatted calf if you wanted to. If you ever wanted to, you had access to the fatted calf. It was in your possession. Read.
Verse 32. It was meet that we should make merry.
He said, it is right that we should make what?
Merry and be glad. For this thy brother was dead and is alive again, and was lost and is found.
And it's found. So we're going to end it right there. But the whole point of the story is what? You got to come back to the Most High. You got to come back to the Most High if you've lived this lifestyle where you wanted liberty and freedom. You didn't want control. You didn't perform the fear of the Lord. You didn't want to be told what to do. And your lifestyle became unstable. Then what does the Most High want from you? He wants you to reform your thinking. And he wants you to come back to him. Because otherwise, the lifestyle that's waiting for you is a miserable life. So you might as well come back home. Because there's only one lifestyle waiting for you. An uncomfortable one. Waiting on other people to feed you and take care of you. And they're not going to be happy doing it.
Major storm.
And instability is coming. Bad decision making and bad timing. So the Most High wants all of us to come back home, bro. This is for anybody who has grief or pain in their life. This is what they may want to consider, because that's the title of the class. Pain and grief gives us much to consider. Think about why you're in this situation. Think about why you're afflicted. Because the Most High wants you to subdue your mind frame. Submit the way you think. Reform yourself. Repent. Acknowledge the fact that you've been making mistakes because you wanted liberty. You wanted freedom. Which, I forgot where it's at, but Matthew Henry said freedom, liberty, he says liberty is the most, he calls it, he said liberty is the most wickedest evil. He says something about it enslaves you to sin. It makes you a slave to sin. That's what he says. He said it enslaves you and you become a slave to sin. That's what liberty is. Liberty just it makes you a slave to sin. He said because that's what some people perceive liberty to be, but you only become a slave to your impulses.
So I say, so I feel liberated.
I feel liberated. You're now a slave to your impulses. So we're gonna end it with that. I know timing was kind of long, but hopefully we understood the point, and we'll be back in action on Friday. All right. So shalom to water for everybody watching online, and also for everybody watching in class. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Shalom. We'll see you on Friday.
Wow.
Taking a shot.